You are now entering Maximum Driftcast, the only drifting podcast hosted by a Spanish soccer mom, a 30-year-old silver-haired fox going on 60, and finally, a 200-pound bowl of spaghetti with chimichanga arms.
The champions, we are the champions.
And we are back.
We are back, and it's one of those deja vus.
It's deja. Oh,
Everybody's looking at that.
Well,
Suck buns. I just eat them.
I did
So-
not. Oh, fuck.
So for those on the audio only portion, now that we have the power of the internet to make our show span across countries and states, I've been using the technology of a Post-it note to write "Paco sucks buns."
Wow.
That way he can see
Thank
it.
you.
Everyone can see
Show-
it.
show-
So
there you go.
yeah, how's your guys' week been? Mine's been just like that.
Well, I want to know what it's like being in the future now that you have the ability to use Post-it notes to send messages via video conference.
Well, it feels pretty good. I've got advanced technology. You wouldn't understand a lot of it, to be
Yeah,
honest
it's
with
tough.
you. So, yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. It's all LA stuff, Los Hangulations. That's where I'm from. Nowadays, it's called that because of all the hang time I get when I'm riding my motorbike.
How much Los Hangulations did you get this weekend?
Let's just say I got pitted. I don't want to
Okay.
get too much into too many details, but I was pitted and acquitted. So that's about it. I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about it. It's
Yeah.
really cool stuff that you
So-
guys wouldn't get.
So let's cut to the chase here, Sam. So you said you're pretty good with technology.
Yep.
That's cool. Well,
Yep. How about you? Is all the technological things in your life work? Oh, you're building an FD car.
no.
Right?
So they call me Bill Nye the Science Thighs, and
Yep.
I'm pretty good at some stuff, some technical stuff.
Sure.
So do you remember that game Snake?
Yep.
I played that a lot.
On your Nokia.
Yeah, and
Hell yeah.
I think the buttons you used was 2, 4, 6, and 8
Uh-huh.
to change your hangulations in the game. And
Yeah. So, anyways, you were doing that while your drift car was getting finished, which you were up here testing it, and you're good to go for Seattle.
Paco,
Yeah.
hey, how are you working on
Oh,
technology
yeah,
over
yeah,
there?
yeah. I mean, why are you changing the topic? Let us know what's going on.
No, I want to talk to you first, so Sam can have a minute to cool down. Sam,
What were we
Yeah,
saying?
Just
I'm
burst-
cooled off. Sorry about that. I didn't
Just-
mean to. I didn't mean to start thinking of you in the dirty way I was thinking about you. So yeah, now the heads are cool. Everyone's chill. What's going on with Formula the Drift Seattle, Corey?
Well-
You're excited to drive for the first time in years.
yeah, do you know what? It was cool because I went out to California for literally probably 32 hours, and I hung out with
Yeah.
Forsberg, and I didn't hang out with you.
Yeah,
So-
I saw a Snapchat of you kicking my drift car, so that's funny.
Yeah, I beat the shit out of that thing.
Oh, you did hang out with Sam?
No, I didn't hang out with Sam.
Oh.
I was when I was
saw
hanging out with
his
Forsberg.
car.
When I was hanging out with the Force, I was like, "Hey, should we call Sam?" And he goes, "No, don't you dare." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Wow, what's been going on between you two?" And he goes, "Ever since Sam's been out here, he's been a dick." And I was like, "Well, that's why we kicked him out." So I'm glad
Yeah.
you have a chance to deal with the dickiness that we did for a couple years. So
Sure, for sure.
So Forsberg said no to you, so that's why we probably didn't hang out. You know, it's gonna be tough making friends in a new area. Sam, have you thought about that?
Yeah, it is. It is pretty tough out here, but luckily, my only friends are old left hand McCupperson and old
Yeah.
right hand McStroker.
Mick Richardson.
And those are the only friends that I need. All right, guys.
Yeah, well, that's good, Sam. Yeah, I can't imagine you making new friends because I know it's tough, and you being a recluse makes things even harder. You know.
Speaking of friends, I'm sure you had a lot of friends and family and people you paid working on your car to make it work, but it just seems like it's just gonna work and ready to drift. Would you say?
Yeah, Sam. It's almost there.
Wait. What do you
you
mean
ma-
it's almost there, Corey?
You made a very public post earlier on Facebook.
Yep.
I unfollowed Corey a long time ago.
Oh, you're such an asshole.
I don't blame you.
hangulations.
I don't blame you, man.
That's not funny, Sam. You know that?
Okay, so, yeah.
It is
Apparently-
pretty funny.
Apparently, I know for a fact that Jared Deanda gets really upset if you unfollow him. So if you guys can go ahead and follow and unfollow Jared today, and of course follow him again tomorrow. But he'll probably email every single one of you guys and be like, "Hey, what the hey?" because Jared doesn't curse.
Dude, that's the funniest thing ever. Yeah, we should really start looking at that.
Hashtag unfollow Jared.
Oh, that's
Hi,
sad.
hi, Jared.
Anyways, so
Anyways.
Corey, last chance. What's your plan of attack for Seattle? From the Drift
Well-
Seattle Pro 2 coming up, you're coming back to the track for the first time ever.
How are you gonna initiate? Are you gonna initiate like a feint initiation, or you gonna do e-brake?
Well, I need the car to sit and have it kind of figure out what it wants to do. And if it wants to hang a late with the e-brake, it's going to hang a late with the e-brake. If it wants to go with a more different approach, then yeah, so be it. If it wants to sit, it's probably going to sit and relax.
Well, that's funny.
I mean, are you planning on having the top half of your motor? Because it looks here, according to the internet, that your car is missing about half of the motor.
Yes, it is. I feel like I'm missing half of my brain actually right now, as well as half of my motor. So you guys, over the course of 3 weeks, Paco, you saw the state of the car about 3 weeks ago, kind of
Yep.
getting torn apart, put back together, torn apart, put back
looking
together.
good. It was looking like it's getting all together. And
So as you guys know, I was working with Keith Johnson from America Motorsports. Amazing dude, very talented dude.
Yep.
A guy,
AJ?
Yep, a dude that definitely knows cars to a very deep degree, which I don't. As you guys know, I'm kind of like Sam.
Yeah.
You can say like, I know as much about cars as Sam does know about producing a good video.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Well,
shots
good thing I'm not a
fired.
producer.
God
Director,
damn it, Sam.
dog.
No. So, anyways,
Slash editor.
I love your video, Sims. You know that, you dumb.
Joy.
But yeah, so I ended up linking up with Keith about 3 weeks ago, today, honestly.
You guys made out?
And we no, we didn't hook up. We just became friends and hung out and spent a lot of
That's
time
cute.
together. We probably spent as much time as you can with the person
Yeah.
in the weeks, like literally staying up all day and all night, and then maybe going home and getting about an hour's sleep for 3 weeks. And I would say we got the car running a week and a half ago, which would give us like maybe a week to kind of set everything up. We had to go. Oh my God! So let me see where we started running into some buggy issues. So we're running all hard lines for the coolant.
Yeah.
We're running aluminum hard lines, which looks super legit.
Yep.
And
But when they break, you can't really replace them so easily, right?
right, and they're so the aluminum, it's pretty thin walled, but that also helps dissipate heat, and anything would damage these things. And anyways, somehow I don't know how one got a pinhole in it. So the first startup, fucking, we're pissing coolant out the bottom of the thing. Well,
Dude, you found that?
we found that.
That's so funny because I remember like when I first saw that car and when we went to California for Irwindale last year, I just took this like sewing kit I had in my pocket and just started making little holes all over the place. And it was just so pumped that you found them.
Yeah, Sam. So that's what you do with all your Trojans.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, that's why I'm a daddy. A lot.
Sam Daddy. But anyways, we that was like the first problem we stumbled upon was figuring out that, okay, do you know what? We have a small leak, no big deal, let's fix this. We pulled it back down, which is a pain in the ass when you have dash 20s welded on the end, tight fit, get it down, weld it, put it back up. Okay, that's cool. Next thing we found was we had to reroute all the power steering lines. That took another 2 days. So now it's like our timeline is getting further back, and further, even though the car ran. And then let's see what happened after that. Once we got it all sorted out, we got it on Keith's dyno at America Motorsports, right?
Yep.
Now, keep in mind, I have Keith from America doing the tuning in the building, which, once again, he's amazing at. And if you guys ever need a car tuned or built, this is the dude. He does amazing job. And, like, seriously, he was the one who got me here today, him and the dudes at America. So, anyways, I have him
the
doing
shit,
a
yep.
baseline tune on the new engine, right?
Yep.
Sounds amazing, dudes. Oh, my God. I have maybe just a few clips of it running and building boost. Sounds amazing. Well, anyways, we get it on his dyno one night at, like, midnight, and we're doing, like, maybe...
And that always ends up good, right? When you start up a car for
so
the
that's
first time a couple days before the event.
It's like a fairy tale, Sam. It's a really nice fairy tale with a very happy ending. When's the last time you had a happy ending, Sam?
Let's see. I've had a couple happy endings this week, actually.
Oh.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
What was his name?
Yeah, I'm really good at massages. So people hire me for my services,
Yep.
and sometimes the endings get pretty joyous.
Yep. So we get it on Keith's dyno, and once again, this is the first time I've ever seen the car around in person. Like, I've seen it on the engine dyno. This is my first time seeing the car in person, so I'm kind of like freaking out. I'm getting emotional at this point.
Of course.
Like, dude,
Yeah, so you're a little bitch and you cry about everything. So here we go.
Sam, don't you remember that one time I kicked you in the dick? You little bitch, Sam.
I could tell when we were before we started up the show. I was like, oh, Corey's on one today. He's not pleased. We're gonna really play with this. All right, go on, Corey. Sorry.
So anyways, we get in the car. It's running. I'm so stoked. Everybody's super stoked. And then we start getting a baseline tune in. So we start tuning up about 3,000.
What's a baseline tuna? Is that like albacore or is that more of like a sashimi?
It's more of a sashimi, Sam.
Okay, all right, good.
It's more of a
Go on.
sashimi tuna.
Gotcha.
But anyways, we get it tuned, and then now the car starts building. We get to a point right where it starts building boost. And we end up only spending about 45 minutes to an hour on the dyno, and we break the dyno. I don't know if you saw the pictures.
I saw the belts.
Dude,
the
as soon as the
belts
thing
came
started
off.
making power, it destroyed the dyno. And it's like, all right, well, we can't tune here anymore, so what do we want to do? And so we ended up, it's all-wheel drive,
all-wheel drive dyno.
So we flipped the car on the dyno
Yeah.
and started running it that way. So we started tuning the car again, tuning it up. Once again, start building boost. Can't hold it.
It was spinning on the rollers, right?
No, it couldn't pick up or determine the amount of power that it's making. The resistance that you need in dyno to tune it,
Oh.
it couldn't keep up with the
I
resistance
see.
required to get the
Okay.
tune to put a load on the engine. So we were just blowing that thing out.
Mhm.
So now this was a couple days ago, and it's like, well, fuck, we need to find a dyno like immediately so we got to start getting this thing tuned.
Yep.
Well, keep in mind, I had Keith do a baseline tune, and then I had Kyle tuned it. You guys
Mhm.
know Kyle from DD.
Kyle tuned it. Yep.
He does Honda Del stuff. He did Forest stuff. He does anything Holly. Like he's
Wait, did you say Honda del Sol?
yeah,
Yes.
and a Prelude.
Prelude? Honda Prelude?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kyle's tuning it now remotely, which he's the Holly guy. He's like the best Holly guy in the United States. So I have Keith and I have Kyle now working on it. So now we're at a point where it's like, do you know what? Let's start looking for a dyno. Once again, everything is coming together. Everything is working,
Yep.
right? Like we rolled it off the dyno.
No leaks.
No
everything's
leaks.
fine.
Keith's doing a burnout, loads it up in the trailer, and
He did a burnout.
well, he took off
Oh,
first
wow.
gear and
Yeah.
just, spun the
So
tires.
the car actually drove on its own power.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, my God.
It ripped. And then we go to UMS Performance,
Uh-oh.
and they have I don't remember what dynos, but you just put it bolted onto the hubs. Is that a dyno jet?
It's
Dyno pack? I don't know.
Dynapack.
I don't know which
Yeah.
one. Anyways, you bolt the heads onto it, or not the heads. What the fuck am I talking about? Bolt the hubs onto it, and then you can get more of an accurate rigging because you're not getting wheel spin or anything like that. So now I have Tony from UMS, who is probably one of the best tuners in
He's
the
a
nation.
machine.
Anything turbo. You have Kyle, who's the best Holly guy, and now you have Keith, who's been tuning for years.
Yep.
So I have 3 dudes that are wizards working on this car.
Whoa, 3 wizards?
Yeah, with
Yep.
beards and
And-
staffs.
Yep, both staffs. So
Hell yeah.
that's cool.
Tony does look like a wizard.
He is a little wizard. He loves drinking beer.
It's a beer wizard.
He's a beer wizard. And so, anyways, we start once again starting from scratch. Start building the baseline tune, and we end up at 4,500 RPMs. It made 650 foot-pounds of torque and 650 horsepower. And the thing,
That's a big tuna.
yeah, it's an albacorny. And then we have the rev limiter set at 7,500. So we start working our way up the powers. Now we're at like 6,000. It's like, all right, boys, we're going for numbers here. We got it all dialed in.
Yep, it's good to go.
And so I'm standing back, and I'm on the phone with Kyle helping with the remote tune, so I couldn't videotape it. And
Yeah.
Keith's kind of keeping an eye on the engine bay, and Tony's sitting in the car, so there's no video of this.
Yeah.
And sure enough, here we go, fucking letting it rip.
Allow me to do a sound.
What do you? What do you
No,
think it
no,
sounds
I'd rather
like?
not. No, all right. Okay.
I wish it was that exciting. But started building
Dang it.
boost, sounded amazing, and then it just went whoop, zero compression,
Oh
no
my
compression. And you get and look at the dyno graph, and it goes up, and then it just
Drop.
straight down, and and the
Oh.
car turned off. And
So,
I'm standing in the
needless to say,
back. Hold
good to
on.
go.
So I'm standing in the back. I'm like, that was a fucking good run. Like, hell yeah, I'm stoked. And then I walk over to Tony, and I hear.
I'll try to fire it up.
Try to fire
Oh
back up
my
again.
God.
Didn't start. So I'm kind of sitting back. I'm not worried at this point because I don't
Yeah,
know what's
just-
going on. I'm like, fuck, let's do it again. And Tony looks at me and he like pulls his glasses down like this.
Like-
And he kind of looks at me. He's like,
Oh
Nope.
Oh my God.
and I'm like, what
Oh,
does that
dude.
mean?
I probably would have. I would have cried. I'd like
And-
rather I would have known. It's like
Well, I didn't know what it means. I thought something was just like a ha. I don't know, right? So, anyways, that sound that we were hearing was just the starter. It was just the starter was just spinning, and there was no compression or nothing. So,
wow.
yeah, that's when they were like, "Yeah, hey man, this thing's done. Let's pull it apart and look at it." Well, anyways, we were supposed to leave in California 5 hours after that because we were supposed to go to Bridges Racing, and they were going to go through the car completely, like go through the Wise Fab, set it up, go through the suspension, like because they have obviously work on Peter and Dean's and James' cars, so they're pretty good at setup, and that was kind of our agreement. So we start pulling the engine apart. And we didn't pull the heads off yet, but we got into the engine and saw that, okay, you know what? There's definitely no compression. We don't see any noticeable bent valves. We only looked at, like, the passenger side bank, so we weren't able to get to the other side. But it's like, we have to get to California still. We had to pick up tires.
Pack it up.
Had to pick up brakes. So I was like, you know what? We can't do anything. Let's head to California. So we load the car up, and we beeline to California on, once again, we worked on this for 3 weeks. We probably got a total of 20 hours of sleep in 3 weeks. That night, we probably got about 30 minutes of sleep before we left to California. We drive straight to California, and we go to Bridges Racing, right? And I walk in, and there's fucking Dean Kearney sitting there flicking the bean on the couch.
Wait, flicking the Dean?
Flicking the Dean Kearney.
Flicking the Dean.
He's flicking the Dean, and he's like, dude, I didn't expect you here. I was like, yeah, I didn't expect I'd be here either after last night. But we're here. And he's like, well, what the hell are you guys doing? It's like, well, we were planning on setting the car up, but now we have any bigger issues. And he's like, well, what's up? I'm like, well, we blew up the engine last night on the dyno.
Oh,
and then the first thing he says, why the fuck are you guys out there taking the fucking heads off this fucking thing? Like, let's go, boys. And I'm like, that's pretty fucking, you're fired up.
I was like, okay, do you have a spare V10 engines lying around I can just, like, borrow?
So here's the thing is we got there, we started taking the heads off, and we pulled the car apart and was like, oh, do you know what? Maybe it's just the valves. Maybe it slipped one tooth on the timing, and maybe it's just the valves. They're not bent, but maybe it's just blowing the air out. Well, so I called Forsberg. I'm like, hey, dude, it might be the valves. We're barely digging into this. And Forsberg's like, what would a champion do? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, dude, get it fixed. So go get it fucking fixed if it's just valves. So, anyways.
Just valves. But you're full of money, right? And you obviously got a bunch of money. Do stuff.
Once again, we thought it was valves, so we start pulling deeper into it. Well, we start pulling the front engine plate off, and the cam has the cam gear on it.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, cool. Let's try to turn the cam gear. The cam gear wouldn't turn. It's frozen up. And we're like, Keith's like, hey, dude, like this thing is supposed to turn good. Like this is not freeing up. And keep in mind, the timing chain is like kind of dangling off. Like I could probably roll the timing chain over the cam gear, and I'm like, oh fuck, we did more. And then as soon as we pulled the cam gear off, there was a bunch of like metal debris around the cam gear, and that's when we were just like, all right, you know what? It's not just the valves. This is definitely a lot more catastrophic than what we thought we could fix. And at this point, we finally had to give in and submit to the hell of what we dealt with. But
man,
so at the end of the day, you're still going to Seattle, but you're not driving your hot rod.
Yeah, and once again, I've had nightmares about this. Like, I was ready for Seattle. The car was ready for Seattle. Like, I was ready to fucking go. Like, I was ready. Everybody's like, oh, you're going to go drive without testing? I'm like, I don't care. Like,
but you're secretly pumped because, like, you were just not going to drive anyways because you just want to drive that thing into a wall, call it the season.
Right. Yeah, I was going to try to
hang out.
Yeah.
Go in a flame. Oh, shit. The blaze of glory.
I was going to try to do some hangulations.
Maximum hangulations. See, you know how at Seattle, you're supposed to turn to initiate, but you can keep on going straight forever, probably.
Well, we took out the steering column, so we can only drive straight.
Good. Yeah, so I think that's probably the best way to
get
out of there.
And there's no throttle return spring on it either. So once I go full tilt, it hangs there. But anyways, it sucks really fucking bad. It's one of those things like you have 2 years to do it, and it's like you get to a point of like, you know what, I'm finally here, let's go again, and then it happens, and it happens to everybody. And like honestly, I'm like, and I even wrote a post about this. I was like, I'm not sad about it. I was.
You passed first.
As soon as it happened, I got something in my eye, and something hit me in the eye, and I started tearing up. But it's like, do you know what the thing was? Is everybody who was a part of the car like didn't lose motivation. They were still excited about it. They were like, do you know what, man? Let's just keep going. Like that was the best part, is seeing how the community reacted to such a terrible thing. That it was like, do you know what? How can I get mad at this, dude? We've had so many people come together, and I've called on my sponsors over the past 24 hours since it's happened, and they're totally understanding. And they're like, dude, this is a part of racing, and this is what we do, and it sucks that it happened to you, and it happens to everybody, but it is what it is. And so, like, I don't know, man. Like, outside of just being super depressed about it and bummed, a lot of good, a lot of good things came about. And
Yeah.
I'm in a very dark place right now, and I'm more sad than I have ever been. But other than that, everything's going great.
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
I mean, I'm sorry I couldn't have been there for you, Corey. I was like twitching in my bed with a kidney stone.
Yeah,
but
that's probably what
Yep,
broke my
yep.
car. Is I had a kidney stone.
that
getting in
kidney
the engine.
stone.
Yeah,
Probably,
that's
probably
right.
the car got a kidney stone too.
But anyways, one thing before in the topic, I definitely have to thank everybody that was a part of this thing, because it is going to be back together hopefully before Texas. But once again, everybody at American Motorsports, Keith Johnson, Neil, Devin, and then like all the sponsors, obviously like Nexon Tire, Motegi Wheels, R1 Concepts, AM being the biggest supporter. Like Chris at AM, he's a freaking rock star, dude. He's helped me so much on this whole thing. Rockstar Garage,
Field.
What's that? What'd you-
Field.
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 Field racing.
Racing,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
like,
Field
Field,
Racing.
Matt Field will be on it. Matt Field.
Fat
Racing.
Meal.
But yeah, so all these dudes just put an incredible amount of time, and I just personally wanted to thank them and understanding and being a part of this. But anyways, guys, that's my story. Sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but it really, really freaking hurt me.
Well, the good news is, Corey, is that pretty much no one ever gets screwed at events. So, I mean, you got unlucky and you were screwed by this car demon that wouldn't let you drive. But I think you're about the only one that's ever gotten screwed by a car, by a tow truck driver, by maybe, let's say, the judges or another driver. So I think we're in the clear now that we've got your story out of the way.
Yeah, yep, it's done over with. So now the car will be sitting out there. So if you guys want to see the car, go to the AM booth in Seattle. Sam, Paco, and myself will be there. Also, we're going to race go-karts in Seattle on Wednesday night, 7 to 10 at K1 Speed.
Oh yeah, we got lots to say about that for sure.
But now,
Yeah, I mean, like, you
hold on,
know.
someone just interrupted our call. I can see.
Hello?
Oh,
Shit.
hello.
What up? What's up?
we were just talking about people not getting screwed over by tow truck drivers and engines blowing up.
Yeah, so we
And-
just heard Corey Hosford's story about Formula Drift Seattle and not arriving there. Mostly, I think he said it was Matt Field's fault, right?
Ah, that's a bummer.
Corey's one of those guys who just cannot be helped no matter what you do.
Wow.
right.
Wow.
I try, he doesn't listen. I don't know. Good luck
Yeah.
to you, Corey.
Hey, I'm glad you changed your shirt too.
So that sucks.
Oh,
I know you were going to be out here this weekend,
heat,
Corey,
yeah.
testing your car at Willow Springs and stuff. So I assume something didn't go together.
yeah, Odi, my engine blew up on the dyno. I don't know if you know that or not.
Oh,
No, I've been really busy this week, so I haven't really been on the social media as much, but that's a bummer to hear, man.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier. You're doing cock push-ups, right?
Oh, cool. I thought we were gonna not say that on the show. So
Oh,
I'm happy
sorry.
that we saved that for the show.
Sorry, that was.
Corey doesn't hold anything back.
No, sorry. I thought we weren't on air. That was my bad. So, anyways,
But anyways,
for the
Team Falcon, you guys had a great event at Canada. Who wants to get started with getting screwed? Because we actually had both of you guys on the show pretty recently, and we're like, well, we can't just ignore the shit show of Formula Drift Canada. So let's get into it. Who wants to go first?
me personally, I think Odi got screwed way harder than I did.
Matt,
What
what
did-
are you doing over there?
It
Do
sounds
you
like you're
decide to
getting
work on the
screwed.
car right now?
Right now.
Matt's got to finish that car. He got bashed up. He's got,
Yeah.
he's got a
I
lot
was
of
saying,
work.
okay, well let's get into let's talk to Matt then, I guess, first, because you actually are literally fixing your car right now. We mentioned a little bit on the show last week, but what the hell happened to you and your car at Formula Drift Canada? And feel free to chime in with any teammate anecdotes, Odi, if you get a chance.
You know,
Sure.
for me, everything seemed to be going good. I qualified decent, got a bye run, and then from there, shit didn't go very good.
Yeah.
We knew Dean has he has a fast car always, and he always drives it hard. And you know, when you drive against your friends or against people that you know push hard and throw down, and there's not going to be any funny games, you drive all out. So without a doubt in my mind, he was driving all out because he knows that I throw around and that we're going to be fast and we're going to be on one. So, in professional drifting, when you're faced with the dilemma of I can't see, there's only one thing to do. If you can't see in a drift car and you let off the throttle, you're going to lose, and you're kind of a pussy. And what he did was not let off the throttle when he couldn't see. He just kept it to the floor. And at the point where I was fully locked, passing the inner clip, he was driving straight on throttle. Obviously he made a mistake because his car snapped straight because he had a ton of grip in the car. But he was faced with the dilemma, like, I can't see, what do I do? He floored it, just like any of us people who are trying to win would do. And at that point, he smashed me in the rear tire there, but it's fixed, and sent me directly into the wall.
That was scary as hell, by the way.
That's like the hardest crash of my career, for sure.
If you didn't have a Hans, how fucked up would your neck be?
Oh, my head would have hit the steering wheel for sure.
Maybe it would have
kind
knocked
of
some
looked like
sense
you
into
already
you.
hit the steering wheel. I mean, it's
Yeah, why is your face all fucked up looking, Matt?
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah.
Always like that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Oops.
Dicks.
no, but his
Thanks
head
for
moved a
pointing
lot.
that out,
If you looked
Odi.
at videos, his
Yeah.
head moved a ton, which
Yeah.
is just normal. It happens, but it would have probably moved past the steering wheel into pieces of the steering wheel if it wasn't for a head and neck restraint, I would think.
You know what's awesome? I actually just got connected with Scroth and through HMS Motorsport, and they gave me a new style head and neck restraint. Instead of the Hans, which is super rigid and obviously does kind of the same thing, it's a flex. And right where the back part that connects to your helmet and the shoulder part meet, there's like this little rubber stopper there. And it's like a progressive bump stop. Odi, you know this, you suspension nerd. It's
Well,
like
I
a
gave you
progressive
some freaking bump
stop.
stops, so yeah.
No, I
Definitely.
know. That's why I said they're progressive. Just like the shit you gave me. But instead of like your head going forward and hitting the Hans, and because when you hit a Hans, it feels like somebody hit you in the head with a baseball bat. Like, it's no joke. I've hit the
Ouch.
Hans in the racetrack before, and it stops you very abruptly. This thing was a total, like, it smoothed out my head, and I didn't even feel like I hit it. And the next day, good. Like, I was a little bit stiff the day of, but obviously went out, went drinking, went partying, went to
Right.
see guys.
That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive that that device can stop such a big head of yours.
Oh,
It's
that was a
that's
good
what
one, Corey.
happens when there's a break, Corey. Yours is huge and light, bro. No wonder
Yeah.
you can't get your car back together.
Ooh,
Yep.
baby.
I don't need that,
Sick
Hans.
burn.
Yeah, sick.
But
Owie.
you just need
Ouchie.
thick skin when you're talking to Matt.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
All right, so what physically happened to your car after that hit?
The whole front frame rails moved over a couple inches. It smashed the intercooler into my intercooler piping, which ripped my supercharger in half, which is why we had to just take everything off and run NA because there was no way we were going to fix the suspension damage, trying to hold the motor into its place because the engine plate broke where the frame rails moved over so far, and we had to ratchet strap the motor in. And then, of course, on the way back, the most amazing thing that could possibly happen on top of all this, the tow truck driver left the winch in neutral or didn't have it in gear all the way. So when it was like getting lowered down, I don't know if he just bumped the wrong lever or what the hell he did, but my car literally rolled back, smashed onto the frame rails and the exhaust smashed into my carbon fiber drive shaft. And then obviously we got the car fixed, went out, beat Dean, we sucked Dean, and then on the next run during that run around the last corner, my drive shaft broke.
Yeah,
There you
but
go.
that was still a crazy turn of events. There's so much to talk about just in that, which I want to get to all of it, hopefully. So, first of all, did you already have, one of my big questions at the track was, did you already have a tune for, like, a contingency tune? Like, my car is completely thrashed and I have an NA tune in case this damage happens?
Yeah, we do. With what
Okay.
we always do when we go to break in the engine, we pretty much do the NA first.
Yeah.
So we had a really solid base map NA. But what my tuner did was pretty much like crank in all the nitrous that we had and gave me all the power that it could possibly make. And we went out and ran, and it was good. But fortunately, I'm very happy that we did have that tune, and almost immediately it was crisp and clean. And we left the learning on just in case it hadn't been tuned NA since the beginning of the year. But it was good. It ran fine.
I think it's crazy
Hey
that
Matt,
you
what
went
what
without
did it put down on the dyno when you did the NA tune with nitrous full tilt?
Like 6 ish, 650 ish, something like that. So it was probably around 650. But the one thing that we forgot to think about was the fact that because I was like 100% throttle pretty much the entire run, my nitrous bottle pressure dropped huge. On a normal run, supercharged, all out, like how we normally have the car, bottle pressure will drop like 100 psi for one run. With the one run with Dean, it dropped like 400 psi. So it was just using the nitrous. And one of the big things that happened in our run with Blues was that on the second run, on my lead run, bottle pressure just didn't have enough time to catch up, because you do a run, you get back in line, And I tried to drive super slow, go back to the line. I'm like waiting for bottle pressure to come up. Come on. I waited to pull the line until they were like yelling at me, but it wasn't enough time. So bottle pressure dropped even lower. Normally we run like 1100 psi of bottle pressure. When I was done with my battle with Blues, it was at like 400. So that thing was just drained.
Wow.
We killed 10 pounds of nitrogen, all the pressure. So it's nice that we had that option there, but we probably started the run with 650 and ended the run with like 400.
Yeah, it did look slower. It looked like you were rapidly losing power throughout the run.
And that's the funny thing is, you made 650 to 400. That's more than what Odi made all season last year.
No, you ran the Dingus. That's like 2 years ago, man. That shit's old.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad, Matt.
2015 was a similar deal. Was just a lot of nitrous NA, and in Irwindale we cranked up the nitrous, and we were having the same problem. Every 2 laps we had to put a new bottle in, and on the second lap even it was just like enough pressure drop to where the car just wasn't the same. So I totally get it.
Yeah.
But hey, Matt, I'm just gonna borrow that tune because I didn't have time to do an NA tune. So if I could just like download it in my laptop sometime, during the weekend, it'll be cool.
Just fax it on over, dude.
Odie's already poking around my car all the time, anyways. I wouldn't be surprised if I walked in the trailer and saw that he had his tune cable plugged into my dash.
You
actually have a really accessible port on your dash, I think.
Oh, I've heard about Matt's accessible port before.
Yeah, I heard it's huge.
There it is. He's showing us his port. Can you show us the port from the rear, Matt? You got another port in the back.
Show us your rear port.
Yep. Okay.
There you go.
That's massive.
That's called a heat wave right there.
Yeah.
Somebody on the chat, Tyler Clock, is saying that bottle pressure is not the only thing that drops with your car. How about that toe?
Oh yeah, I wonder what happened with that tow truck driver.
Did you talk to him? Did you say anything to him?
Do you speak French?
No, I don't speak French, but you know what's funny is after he dropped my car, then on the second run when my drive shaft broke, they had to load the truck up, and I was like, tell me this isn't the same tow truck driver. And the guys climb, they're like, yeah, it's the same driver. And then he came up, and I was like, hey, dickhead, don't fucking drop my car this time. About it. I was all worked up and excited about it. Don't drop my car. And no joke, I was thinking about just walking away from the car like I did last time to go like get the parts and stuff, and I was like, nah, I can't even do that. I literally sat in my car with my brakes on until my car was on the ground. And I was like, all right, fine. But it was funny because I straight up yelled at him. He looked at me, probably had no idea what I was saying because he only speaks French, but I think he could tell I was mad.
Wow.
Yeah. And so your car gets let's talk about after the initial accident as well, because it's been a topic of discussion on the show about people.
Hey Matt, by the way, because your drive shaft broke, I finally got a spare drive shaft, and that like triggered like I've been meaning to get a spare drive shaft. Beginning of the season, I totally forgot about it until that incident. So kind of in a way, thank you, but sorry to hear that that's how it happened.
Oh, now that's 2 things, Odi, a spare drive shaft and a spare NA tune.
Yep.
He's really learning from this incident of you.
Yeah.
But as I was saying though, Matt Field, is that
what up?
What up, dude? Do you think your car would have gotten repaired in time without the help of other people on the grid? 'Cause I saw Chelsea over there. I saw a couple other drivers get out of their cars just to try to help you. And how essential was that to you getting back on grid in time?
Yeah, absolutely. When you realized how many different things were wrong, it was kind of like, I mean, there was never a question like wherever the car was after the 10 minutes and then after we called 5 is where we were going to run it. There was no questions asked.
Yeah.
Even if the wheels were smashing into the firewall, we're going out. But I don't have a really big team, and even my spotter ran down from the spotter stand to come help. So that means that there's 3 able mechanic and my tuner there, and my tuner scrambling to get his laptop and plug in and put the NA tune on and make sure everything's good in that aspect, and then starts lending a hand. But between the suspension and everything that went down on the motor and trying to get the bodywork out of the way, it was a lot. And I'm very fortunate that everybody lended a hand, and it was pretty funny because I had to crank all the caster into it that the piston rod allowed because all the chassis and everything got pushed back so my wheels were hitting the firewall. Oh, geez, the door almost hit me.
Wow.
And then we cranked in all the caster. Obviously, the toe changes as you change the caster. And I was screaming at my guys, check the toe, check the toe. And Kevin's like, 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Oof.
I'm like, no, we have time. Check the toe. Toe plate it. They toe plate it. They're like, 3/4 toe out. And I'm like, we got to change it. And people are like, shut in my car. I'm putting my helmet on. I'm screaming at them, we got to change the toe. And Denofa's right next to me. And he looks at me and he's like, bro, don't even worry. I've seen you drive way more fucked up shit. You're good.
Last
So,
year.
helmet on. I looked at him. I'm like, you're right. You're right. Got in my car and rolled out. But I was like genuinely concerned because 3/4 toe out is like ridiculous. Still, Chelsea, kind of put that in my head. And I'm like, he's right. I drive beaters with like 2 inches of toe out. What am I concerned about? Let's.
So with all that toe, what type of shoes do you wear?
That's a good question, Corey. Thank you.
Slapped out dirty Vans, bro. Of course.
Yeah, you got to have the pair of shop Vans.
Odie, you being
That's why Corey is where he is, because that's what he thinks about when we talk about toe.
Yeah, well, I was
Just
gonna
toe
ask. My next question was to Odie, so if you can shut up for a second. Odie, what do you think about all that toe up front on Matt's car?
But I think Chelsea was very right. His voice of reason when it comes to driving clapped out cars. I'm not gonna go to the other toe you're talking about.
Hey.
Is that the toe that I'm thinking?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Who's
Well,
got the-
actually, Corey never runs toe in his car. He only runs moose knuckle.
That is the new style of drifting.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's wrap your night up. Then Matt, you went up against Blues, but your car was severely underpowered, and there's still actually kind of an entertaining battle. And obviously, Kristaps is who we spoke to last week is always a showman. How did that battle feel for you?
I jumped him on the drag race where I really shouldn't have. I was just expecting to be much lower than it actually was.
Yep.
And that kind of screwed me for my fall run. I was able to initiate right on his door, but I didn't have the momentum because he kind of he slow rolled me a little bit, cold rolled me a little bit. So when I initiated, I was there, but I didn't have the momentum. But I was surprised that I didn't just get freight trained because that car is probably one of the fastest cars in FD. And at that point in time, that turd was very much not. So, it just surprised me. And it was funny because on the first run with Dean, I was driving with one hand on the steering wheel and the other hand on the handbrake because I wasn't sure what the hell was going to happen. But on that run, I was like, all right, the car's good. Keep it floored as much as possible, and it drove all right. And then on my lead run, it could have gone much better had the bottle pressure not dropped to like 400 PSI. Other than that, it was funny because normally I run fourth gear basically until outer zone 2 or at the end of outer zone 2. That's when I'll drop third. And I literally had to drop into third gear round outer zone 1, like in the middle of outer zone 1, because it was just log in, clutch kick, wasn't doing anything, dropped into third and rolled out. It was all right.
So needless to say, if you had a full-powered car, you think you would have beat him. I mean, that's a dumb question to ask you because the answer is always yes with you, but you would have beat him if your car was full-powered.
I was 2-0 with him. 2-0.
Yeah.
Now it's 2-1.
Bummer. Any other? We don't want Field to go anywhere, of course, because I want your input on Odie's night. You guys have any more questions about Field's car?
No, is that thing as old as the Retax car?
At
Well,
least
I think that one might be older.
Oh yeah. So how bad is the chassis fricked up after that? Is it still going to be a good car for the rest of the season? I mean.
Yeah, it'll definitely.
Ooh.
Oh, we lost
He
a little
has
bit. Maybe.
laggy internet.
Walking around.
New intercooler, lower frame rails. Here we're screwed.
That car
Did
was
my connection
really
get bad?
needed.
Yeah,
that
you can actually. We
clutch.
can't see any videos, so just if you can, just switch to audio only and tell us about the car, please.
It looks like a Dodge Hellcat.
Okay. Yeah. I think the car, honestly,
Wow.
it's in better condition now than when Alex monster trucked on top of me at Long Beach. So before the shock tower, like even though Sam's pulled it out and did a great job, it still wasn't in the right place and the frame rails were a little twacked. Now the frame rails are like perfect and the shock tower is where it's supposed to be. So in theory, it should be better than ever.
Nice.
Sweet. So it's gonna last you for the rest of the season as long as people stop hitting you.
Oh yeah, but I'm sure that's not gonna happen.
Right. All right. Well, Odi, how was Canada for you, buddy?
It started out really good, man. We were doing solid. Matt did out-qualify me, so
Yeah.
you know, but other than that, it was great. I mean,
But you were 7-9, so the Falcon boys did very good initially out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both started out the event really well, like Matt was saying. And I thought I had a pretty good bracket lined up on my side. Robbie's a great driver, but he is running a car that's a brand new build, and we've seen him throughout the events, struggle with that car. So I felt confident with like running against him in that run for top 32, and everything was going well. When I was leading, I felt like a nudge, and I was like, damn, Robbie's like on my door. Sweet. Like it was a nudge, and it like threw my car a little bit, but it was nothing like to where I can't finish off the run. It was the last turn of the run where I got hit. So I was like, it's fine. Like I could keep it going. So I did. And as soon as that happened, I radioed to Amy like, hey, I need to fix the car because I obviously got hit and my toe is probably thrown off. And, the next run might be a total gamble. So we need to fix the car, but we shouldn't have to call 5 minutes because Robbie hit me. So figure it out. Like, just let's not call 5 minutes because we shouldn't have to. So I'm just kind of like stoked about the run because Amy's like, well, he didn't just nudge you. He actually like flew all the way off the track. I was like, okay, cool. He's sitting on a 0. I'm solid. But let's get the car squared away so we got a solid, next run with him. But over the radio, then Amy's like, well, they deemed you at fault. And that's when I just like, I don't lose it very often, but I totally lost it inside the car.
I've not really heard you curse too often, but I had heard that there was some expletives.
Hey, Sam, what do you think that would sound like in the car? So if you're Odi and you were upset, what would you say?
Oh gosh, darn, frick, heck at all the butts.
I think
Yes, exactly.
I think it was
Exactly.
more of a.
Paco, what do you think? Give an Odi
of a-
impression. Give an Odi upset impression, please.
It was more of a. Ding nabbit, those damn dukes.
That was it.
What did he say?
Ding nabbit, damn Dukes.
Dukes.
Yeah, that's what I
Man,
translated from it.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, what do you think Odi said when he got upset?
I just imagine him pushing up his glasses and
Yep.
saying, well, I disagree.
I respectfully disagree.
That's it.
That's usually how it goes down. But
Wow,
it took me by like complete surprise, and I wasn't expecting it at all. Like, there's those cases where you're sitting there on the line waiting for the judges to make a call, and you're like, man, if it goes that way, I could kind of see it, I could kind of justify it, but it never like even crossed my mind. So it just like blew me by surprise, and it was like probably one of the most frustrated feelings I've had inside of a drift car ever. It was horrible. We tried to protest that ruling, obviously, and that didn't go our way either. So
This is weird.
we finished off. We packed up, and we just I decided not to even stick around the track. I was just kind of bummed out, and I didn't want to be in a bad mood around other people. So we packed up and took off.
And so what were the judges telling you that they saw?
Well, they're doing the best they can with all the visual references that they have at their disposal.
Yeah.
So as soon as there was contact, they started looking at tire smoke out of my car, and they deemed that there was a lack of tire smoke after transitioning into the last turn, which they drew the conclusion that I was slowing down in that area, and that caused Robbie to hit me. So the problem is that we unfortunately don't have a lot of resources for the judges to dissect runs like that, and using what they had at their disposal, that that is the call that they made, and they stuck to it, even through the protest.
Did you have to double handbrake there? Like, did you transition handbrake and have to handbrake again, or you transition no handbrake, just get back on the throttle?
I actually carried so much speed and momentum off of clip 2 into that zone that there was absolutely no handbrake that I had to use. And when I transitioned, I just let the car float because it was like floating right into the perfect spot. And I got back into throttle. And even after I was in throttle is when I got hit. So it was like a really perfect run for me. It's like, it's not that easy in that part of the track to transition in a way where you don't have to correct at all, and you don't blow the inner clip, you don't hit the inner clip. It was one of those runs that it was like perfectly set up to where you transition, no correction after the transition. You just like lift off throttle right after transition, the car floats in that perfect spot, and you mash back on throttle. It was like ideal. So that's why it really took me by surprise, like, whoa, like I'm at fault for getting hit there. So, unfortunately it happens. I'm really pushing for our judges to have better resources to be able to have, better judgment on these kinds of calls.
Yeah.
And I think we have to, as drivers, whenever we get hit with something that we truly feel like we disagree on, we got to just not be sour about it. We got to find ways to make sure it doesn't happen again. And, there's ways to enable our judges to give them better tools to be able to understand what's going on in the track.
So I'm watching the clip right now. I'm going to send it into the Facebook chat if anyone is watching and wants to see that. But watching that, like, I just don't really see what the fuck they were thinking. I'm sure that you didn't see either. Like, Robbie very obviously flies off the track by what looks like his own devices. Did you get a chance to talk with him after this incident?
Yeah, Robbie, I know, is a stand-up dude, so I actually called him up right before a protest and, said, hey, we're going to protest this. And I was like, dude, driver to driver, tell me what the hell happened? Like, why did you hit me? And he, said he was just driving, and when he transitioned, my car was just there, and he just ended up running into my car. Like, there's no explanation from Robbie, like, oh man, you were just on your brakes, or man, in front of me, you just slowed down. He just I think was in his own run, and when he transitioned, my car was there. That was, he wasn't blaming him for, he wasn't blaming himself for anything, but at the same time, he had nothing to say about me slowing down or lifting or pulling handbrake or stopping in front of him.
Yeah. What were you saying, Matt?
They're transitioning into the last inner clip. You're literally blind. Basically, from inner clip 2, you can see like a split second after inner clip 2, and then it's just a blind transition going into 3. So for sure, he couldn't even tell if Odi did slam on the brakes. He was blinded by transitioned on throttle, and that's it. Like, you can't tell. You just throw it in and go.
Yeah. And now I'm watching your chase run, Odi, too. It's funny too, is that I can tell you're pissed, because it's like most drivers, you can actually tell when they're pissed. They drive very differently, and you can see it here from you, because usually a very controlled follow. But,
I definitely, I feel like, put emotion into the way I drive, and I usually do well when I'm pissed off. Like, a lot of the times where I've won the event or I've done really well, most of the time something happened that like really irritated me. Yeah. And it shows, like, and it's, that's why I like drifting. I think everything kind of shows on track the way you drive.
We have the run. Do you guys want to?
Yeah, we're going to watch the run real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
You guys won't be able to hear it, but we're looking at right now. Odi's.
We're watching the donut compilation, and so Lodi leading.
There.
Pretty good run, and Odi gets.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
That was that little tap.
I think the Skype deal might have not been the best solution for this.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm not pleased with the constant issues we've had. But anyways, you can hear me, right?
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
hear you
yeah.
just fine.
Can you guys?
All right,
Yeah, we
hopefully-
can hear you guys fine too.
Can you guys hear us?
There you go. Now I can hear
Yep.
Yeah, we were
We were watching the video, and sometimes we would have to mute the outgoing audio to play the clip, but they could still.
You know what? Maybe while you guys are watching the video, you're on Wi-Fi for Skype. Maybe just slowing it down that much to where
Yeah.
it's causing that.
Well, Paco's internet is currently run by a couple of hamsters in a large treadmill wheel situation, so it's not really ideal for our streaming internet show. But we're working out those kinks slowly. So what did you guys just watched the run? What did you think of it?
Well, only watched part of it, and then we heard you guys saying you can't.
Yeah,
hear us,
no,
so
I
we
mean, like
stopped it.
everything was fine. It's just that when we were watching that, it's just a lot of sounds and noises. So the
Sure.
Skype
Go on
audio just
about the
goes out
run.
a little bit, but it's all
Yeah,
it's all good.
And so
we
how?
heard-
Okay, so outside of all that, Odi, how did they deem it for Robbie? What was their reasoning?
They said that I decelerated in an area that is not a deceleration zone, and their visual references were, tire smoke, and that's really it that they have at their disposal. So, yeah, so it was deemed my fault for Robbie hitting me.
Wow. Like,
Did you watch it live, Corey? Were you watching Formula Drift?
yeah, I was, and
Did it seem out of place to you, like when you first saw it, like or because I was unfortunately not at the track for that second. I was dealing with Vaughn's GoPro shit, but like I didn't get to see it. But it kind of flew. The entire situation flew under the radar until after the event when I was talking to some buddies and they asked like, "Oh, did you see the Odi battle?" And then I learned of the incident.
I'm gonna watch it again on my laptop. Get a
Yeah,
play-by-play.
Odi, have you had a chance to talk to the judges again? I know they ruled against you during the protest, but have you talked to them again? Have they expressed dismay about their call? Have they stood by it, saying that you were still at fault?
I haven't spoke to them yet. We definitely are going to, because like I said earlier, drivers, if you really know for a fact that the ruling didn't go the way it should have, you got to prevent this from happening again to yourself and to other drivers, because it's just going to cause a bunch of disconnect between drivers, judges, and between fans. Like no one's going to be happy with the sport. So we have a plan to meet with them and to discuss how to improve their visual aids and add other aids for them to judge more appropriately on these kinds of runs. So,
And what visual aid or what camera, what device would they have needed to properly judge this, in your opinion?
in a perfect world, it'd be good to have a cheap telemetry unit in every single car,
Mhm.
because then you can quickly pull up
Throttle
an
map or
average of
something, yeah.
speed. Even more simple than that, you could pull up like an average speed in every single sector and see if that particular run deviated from that a lot.
Yeah.
Or you could pull up the speed of, say, Robbie leading and then me leading and see the difference there and see if,
Yeah.
in fact, maybe I was a lot slower than he was while
Which I don't
leading.
think one of the arguments that we've had against that on the show is that it can slow down the program, which slow down the actual physical show. But I think that honestly, if they just had that data in front of them while they're making their regular decision making, I don't think it would really slow down much, and it better be helpful.
I feel like this data usually doesn't have to be used, honestly, until there's a very questionable situation, like if there's contact made, or if some driver straightens out or goes into a spin, like during a tandem battle behind someone. If there's something that just took place where you might need to rule on the side of caution because you're not entirely sure what was the causation of something happening. So this is an aid that would only be there instead of rewatching maybe the replay so many times over and over. You pulled some other piece of data and you could draw a conclusion maybe even faster in that case, instead of rewatching something over and over, which might delay the show overall.
Well,
Right.
We're lucky that they're even watching the replays like they were, because I don't know if anybody remembers, but last year in Montreal, I got totally screwed over in my Cameron Moore battle where his car shut off in front of me. I
You're right.
smashed into him, and the judge said that it was my fault for smashing into him, even though his car was already shut off, down on, not spinning tire or anything. They didn't even watch the replay. maybe once, and they made their decision, realized they made the wrong decision, but were not able to even overturn it because it was top 32. So I went through this whole process that Odi's going through: arbitration, send emails, submit requests. I sent them my data, sent them the in-car, did all this stuff, and now at least we're able to protest in top 32. And now the judges actually will watch many times replays of incidents that have contact. But if they don't have the right camera angle, like what happened with Odi, or they don't know exactly when on, they can still make the wrong decision. So I
Right.
agree. They need something. And it's not hard to do. Kevin Wells has already been messing with it. The telemetry device has been in my car last year a couple times as well. So I don't really know what the holdup is.
Yeah. What was your impression of all this, Matt? I know you're having your own day going on, but when did you first learn about Odi's misfortunes?
I was watching the live stream. I always sit in my car and watch live stream, basically up until the run that I'm about to go, so that I can see how just going, if there's anything screwy happening, what to watch out for. And I mean, I obviously learned a lot in the battle with Odi, because something like that can happen very easily. So you got to be on your toes. But I was just confused as hell. I didn't even think. I couldn't really hear what was going on because my car is sitting there idling.
And
Matt accidentally
he
hang
goes
up.
and idles.
Hey, Odi, by the
All right,
way,
well,
I just watched
I'll
that
be back in a
run.
second.
I just watched that run, Odi, and you made the same amount of smoke on your chase as you did your lead, in that same particular area.
I know, but it's, during the protest, it's you're only given so much time to like prove your point, So I've rewatched this over and over, and I've looked at like the top 5 fastest cars in that round, and we looked at their line, how they transition, where they lift off throttle coming around that same turn, and it's, there's tons of evidence to, support my not being my fault, but it's tough when you only got so much time and so many things you could bring up during that protest.
Just as a fun little side note, now that we're doing this format where we're doing live to the Facebooks, I'm looking at the watching now, and it looks like we've got someone named Brian Eggert watching the show right now. I wonder if he has anything to say.
Speaking of judges.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, that sucks. So what does it feel like now today, going into Seattle? Do you where's your head at?
It's fine. I mean, like I said, it is what it is. They made the ruling they had to make based off of what they saw. So I'm hoping in Seattle, if there's any instances during the drivers' meeting where, where we can give some more insight as to how our cars behave and, what to look for. Hopefully I, bring it up, and hopefully all of us are very proactive about just being in touch with how, like, educating the judges and the fans too, like how our cars behave and what to expect. There's been a lot of dialogue going back and forth in drivers' meetings, and I like that, because I feel like sometimes we like reconnect with the judges, like maybe they expect our cars to do a certain thing, but there's a few of us in the drivers' meeting that raise our hands and go, actually, our cars, might look like they're doing that, but they're not. And we just need to make sure we have that dialogue going again and again. And that event in Montreal is making me make sure that we keep this dialogue going, and maybe even put more effort into reconnecting with the judges and making sure that, it's understood how our cars behave to avoid these kinds of things from happening.
Right. Corey Paco, you have any more notes on that?
I mean, I don't know. Usually it's a little bit sour. Overall, thinking I think it started pretty strong. What was that? New Jersey? That was the one with all that crazy. The engine
Yeah, that's when we
almost
spoke to
blowing
us
up
right
and
after
all
New
that.
Jersey, and it's
Like that was a very glorious moment where you came on top, and that seems to be like, Odi just did this. That's gonna be like that every single round from now on. And I don't know. I mean, it's a little heartbreaking, like suddenly seeing things not happening right And not only,
it happens, and you got to be, you got to take it in the sport and learn from it and try to make it better. So it is. You're right, Paco. Though there was some good momentum out of New Jersey. It was kind of proof that, like, hey, even if things aren't 100% right, my program works so well to where we could overcome it. But there's wrenches thrown at you along the way that you just can't, overcome sometimes. So
yeah, whoever that guy is that's throwing wrenches, cut it the fuck out, dude.
Because he threw one at me this weekend.
Yeah, that guy threw one right and nailed Corey right in the face.
He threw a kidney stone in my
my
kidney.
Hey, Odi, is there a driver's summit in Seattle this weekend?
Yeah, they've
I
done
don't
that
think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
They probably don't want to hear any shit from anyone anymore. Like, we don't want to hear it from anybody. The thing is,
no, they're actually very
they're
open.
awesome.
I mean, you gotta put in effort as a team or as a driver too. They're not gonna. No one's gonna come to you and go, "Hey, how do you feel about that?" Or do you,
right?
It's all of our job as team owners or team managers to. If we don't like something or we see that there's something needs to be changed, they have pretty much an open door policy. We just got to let them know, and we got to make sure that we have a good reason for letting them know. And so
right, that's the other thing too, is like you were talking about earlier, if the judges had more information that they can gather per run would make a resolution much easier, but also the explanation that you can give to your guys and obviously an understanding for yourself, because the thing is they do dictate obviously how well or what you do this weekend, and everybody spends tons of money on the sport to be there. There's a lot of time invested on everybody's part, from the drivers, the crew, and to lose that way on a questionable call, you'd feel that they would be required to have more data for that, because literally you have a couple bad runs throughout the year that could jeopardize you for the next year.
yeah. I mean, you've been in it, so you understand, like, the expectation to do well is huge, to get sponsors season to season. Right. You're right on that. And yeah, it does hurt when you know that, hey, that might have cost my chances at the championship, right. Like, for sure, and that call could have gone a completely different way, and we might have our sights, really clear on the championship after that round. So no doubt it happens. Yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping it doesn't happen much in the future, but to implement tools for judges, it doesn't happen overnight. There's probably reasons why there's not telemetry in every single car at their disposal. This stuff costs money, and they're
yeah, it always seems to come down to that money thing, though. But as we've discussed on this show 1,000 times by now, or at least a couple dozen, is that there needs to be a large amount of investment to, I think, progress the sport in necessary ways.
Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe the judges have the most difficult job in the series. Out of
everybody. Of course. I don't want to do that shit.
And yeah, they have to deal with, obviously, drivers questioning them quite often, and they have to be prepared to answer to anybody and everybody. And it's tough, but it would probably make their life easier having a proper explanation.
Well, yeah, it's not to burden the judges or anything. This is to make their lives easier.
Like absolutely.
Like we're friends with all of our judge buddies, and we think that always there's no maliciousness. We've made the joke about edible arrangements so often, but that is a joke, of course, because it does at times seem.
Do you guys have a good company for that, like
edible arrangements?
Yeah.
We just go Google edible arrangements.
That's the name.
So real quick, actually, Brian Eggert, who was watching the show, he responded to me and said that you guys actually have a meeting scheduled on Wednesday. So he doesn't want to give us any sort of thoughts on the issue until he meets with you and the other judges. But he just to show how active and engaged the judges of the sport are, he's already reached out to me and said that they'd love to talk about it after you guys discuss it.
In court.
In court. So
exactly, and that's very cool that that, like you said, they're engaged. Like, they're probably not on their clock right now. They haven't clocked in. They're not getting paid to do it, and I appreciate that. They're that engaged. It's not an easy job. I could see where it's not a glamorous job. Like, there's probably a handful of drivers that, you know, you don't want to deal with because people probably bug them about stuff all the time. So
Drivers like Matt Field. Wait, he's not on the call. We can say whatever we want about that guy. What's up, Matt? You jerk.
Yeah, I think he probably had to go or something because he's called. Yeah, we can keep trying. He's not responding, but yeah, I mean,
he's actually trying to call me on my cell phone.
Yeah, his Skype
yeah.
or his phone must be busted.
Actually, I think the last video we saw was him dropping his phone into his engine bay, and now he's just trying to reach it with sticks.
Maybe
Do you
Chris,
guys want me to call him and?
Might as well, yeah.
On?
Well, we got to get the questions. We've got of course fan questions on our Instagram that we'd like to ask for
And
both
I
of you.
do have a question for him as well.
yeah, maybe
See if we
Kristaps
get that
Blues run
back in
over
here.
his phone as well.
Oh,
You know
Matthew.
what? Let me. Hey,
My
on.
phone died.
Hold on.
Oh, his
Wait, we
phone
got it,
died. There you go. We're
Hey,
good. We're live.
back.
Hey, Odie, I have a question for you.
Oh, here
What's
we go.
that, Matt?
Did you ever give me back my injectors that Nate came and borrowed? Because I'm having a problem right now and I want to switch out my injectors and I can't find them.
Oops.
They are still on the Falken rig. I actually totally forgot about that.
So happy that we're getting this fixed right now.
Shit. Where's
This is a pattern, Odie. Odie just keeps fucking up all my spares, my whole fucking program.
this, guys? This is like for real. What happens? This is like.
This is a constant
Where are
Frenemies
you
deal.
at, Matt?
This is
I'm in my
totally not
shop.
scripted.
And no,
Let-
my car just started. I went to go put my car in the trailer. That's why it's sitting here. And it started missing. So I went to go clean the injectors out, and one seems a little funky. So I wanted to go put a new injector in and see. But Odie has my injector.
Damn
Well,
it, Odie.
I wonder where the rig is at now. I will text message Steve, see where they're at. I actually saw them in the rig right before Montreal, and I was like, I'm gonna leave them in the rig because Matt's gonna need his injectors back. And during Montreal, I just never crossed my mind to give them back to you.
Right, because you wanted to keep them.
Right.
Well, that's how.
Yeah.
He's like,
that's
oh,
how you
sweet, I
get
have all
each
these
other, right?
spares.
Yeah.
When we're I guess when we're done with this, that's all good. I'm gonna try. I just cleaned them. I'm gonna try to put them in and see what they do. So
Did you get
Can't you
them
just-
clean throughout the season, or is it the same ones?
they
and
were
they're
they
still-
were brand new after Long Beach, so they're super fresh.
Can't you just go to AutoZone and get some new ones out of a GM minivan or some shit?
Yeah. That's a good
Did you
point.
Yeah,
Sam.
that's
tap on
normally
the-
what I
was
do,
it just-
but not
was it
today.
just one
AutoZone's already
cylinder?
closed. Huh?
Was it just one cylinder?
Yeah, it's just missing on one, and I don't know why. So I'm just
Just-
trying everything.
Did you tap the side of it? I mean, it sounds retarded, but the same thing happened to me, and I just, after actually they got clean.
Did you
I
try
tapped the
unplugging
side.
it and plugging it back in again,
Right.
Matt?
Yeah, we tried all that, so
Hey.
we cleaned them, and we're gonna see what it does.
Hey, Matt, since it's gone missing, have you gone looking for it?
Oh shit, Corey.
Oh,
Hey oh.
Sorry,
that's like
that's step
butter blew
one.
up on the dyno.
That's step
All right.
one.
Wow.
Well,
Well-
can we get it? Go ahead.
Well, hold
guys,
on one
sorry.
second before we go to fan questions. I want to ask them because this is technically their first year. I don't remember Matt doing any other video or media prior to this, and I don't remember Odi really doing any type of media.
Matt was on video in Amsterdam or something, right? You had a film crew with you, but they did not air in the U.S.
Yeah, that whole thing is still going through, and they just finished up last year's season,
Right.
and it's still supposed to be on the air, and it's kind of a mess, but I'm just hoping for the best. If it comes out, it's
Right.
gonna be great. If it never does, it'll live on the internet somewhere and still be cool.
Were they not excited because there wasn't much nudity in it, or why do
Yeah.
you think it hasn't
Oh,
gone
there
as
was
far?
plenty. There was plenty of that.
Oh, nice.
So outside of that, you guys, as far as content from Formula Drift, this is kind of like your guys' first run at media this year, isn't it? Like full time.
This is definitely my first media package that something comes out after each event, and it's something cool, I guess. I've had little videos here or there produced by people, but nothing of this magnitude at least. And I'm super, super pumped to be working with Donut, and I'm glad that Odi and I can do something like this together.
Well, that's the thing.
Remember, Matt, when I was text messaging you in the off season, hey, we should do this because deep down we're kind of
We don't like each
buddies,
other.
but we're trying to beat each other all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Frenemies. It's really not a big concept at all. It's not something that we just came up with overnight. It has literally been this way since Odi and I both started, and it's funny because we kind of had our own separate programs, our own cars, and then we wound up on Nitto together. And then after, when I got booted from Nitto and I went to Yokohama, when I finally got the Falken deal, it's funny, and I was all pumped. And then look who shows up on the Falken deal too.
Yeah, what's funny is that every time I think I score a sweet-ass deal, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm getting Nitto tire. Somehow I hear from Matt, and Matt's like, oh, I'm going on a new tire. And I'm like, what is it? Nitto. And it's like, before I even tell him, I'm like, I already, it's like, and then next thing, Falken, oh, by the way, it's going to be teal and blue, but there's a second car. And who it is? It's Matt. So it's like it's great. Like I feel like we're landing cool gigs, but at the same time.
But you guys look a lot alike. You guys have the same demographic. And did you also put some sort of clause in your Falken and Nitto contract that says if one of you kills the other one, you get that person's gold?
Ooh, that's written in the 2018 contract. We couldn't find it out for 2017. They weren't sure how the Frenemies thing was going to work out.
I think one of us would be dead already. But
I was going to say.
Well, the other thing, the reason why I wanted to ask that question is, have you guys, now that you have a full-fledged media program behind you where you're releasing content after each round, has that been a benefit to you guys? And how have the sponsors and stuff been reacting to that? And how has it propelled kind of your guys' program?
I think that's going to take effect even more later down the road. But, I think it's working. Matt and I almost got another cool sponsor to come about it because of this. It hasn't, finalized, or it didn't quite work out the way we wanted to, but I feel like we're getting a lot of grabs and a lot of potential because of it, for sure. We need to keep it going, because this is not like you do it once and expect something out of it like right away next day. But there's definitely momentum going to that direction, and I'm really glad we did it.
Yeah. Do you think you should, obviously now looking in hindsight, now that you've experienced that, do you wish you would have implemented media in your program sooner?
I obviously have. This is something that I've wanted in a long time, but I've never had the budget for it. I've never had the budget to even run a proper Formula D program like I want to. So Odi and I were very fortunate that we were able to get partners like Falken and Arc Performance on board, and kind of put the idea in their head that, hey, it's going to cost some money, but it's actually going to be worth it. Whereas a lot of other people's videos or stuff that they have behind them, it might not be worth it. They might get a couple thousand views on a video, but now that we're with Donut and we're all cross-posting it, and it's working out so much better that we're actually getting the views and the reach, and now I think the sponsors are finally seeing that return. But it's something for me that I couldn't have done alone.
Right.
Fortunately, partnering up with Odi, getting both the Falken and Arc on board really helped.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
The thing, because usually we would have people, obviously we talked, the Forsbergs and Turks and things like that, and that's, a huge piece of their programs now, to see you guys come in and finally implement something and how that affects your program is a pretty cool thing to see. That it has influenced people to want to invest more because it's another outlet outside of then just competition. And I thought, once again, it's one of those things where I personally feel it's like, you guys are known in the sport extremely well. You guys are some of the most popular drivers in the sport, but now you have the ability to reach so many people that are outside of the sport and they want to watch it purely for the entertainment. It's
something going on.
That's really what we're hoping for. And with the Frenemies, it was something that I really wanted to try to get Odi and I's personality across. Because everyone knows how we are on track. They know how we drive. They either like us or they hate us, and that's it. But no one really gets to know the drivers unless they have a media package that is stuff outside of drifting, right? Obviously, our whole series is related around what Odi and I do at the track, but it's not just what we do on track. I feel like you really get to know Odi's personality and my personality and meet our crew and meet the people that make it go around and kind of see some of the insider stuff that actually goes on when Odi and I are screwing off and messing around and talking shit to each other, because that's really what an event is. The driving part of it is big and important, but it's not all you do when you're at the track.
Well, that's the thing, is outside of your guys' talented driving, it gives me another reason to like or dislike you guys. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what it is. That's the whole point of it. And now that you guys have the ability, it will put you guys in a position to reach that type of people.
Yeah, and then not only people watching, for example, like the Frenemies series, but now a lot of people would like to see what you guys doing in between rounds. What you guys like if you guys start like doing vlogs and just like live updates, you start seeing like more people's wanting to keep up with you guys, and that should bring also more attention to your program, right?
Yeah, we're definitely that is the goal of this whole deal, because it is a lot of investment on our part, and I think it's really hopefully going to show, give a little more insight, let people understand what we do and who we are outside of just watching the way we drive our cars with our helmet on. So hopefully it's working. It seems like we got a really good response from people. They love it, and we still got quite a bit more episodes left, so looking forward to doing this for a little while.
And as long as there's no drama on the track, the shows are just going to keep on being real boring. Oh, hold on. Odi's daughter has something to ask. Odi, what's she asking?
Just to let you guys know, I'm like literally putting my whole family in a car right now. We were still at the shop.
Yay.
My wife's like, dude, we gotta go. So I'm still on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit in the passenger seat. If my phone cuts in and out, I'm really sorry.
Oh, good.
Just
No,
understand
let's
I'm
get to the fan questions
Yeah.
here. If you guys,
I was wondering if those kids in the background were Odi's kids or Batfield's child labor workers.
Yeah, were they Matt Field's kids or Odi's kids? And is that still a question?
Definitely mine. Definitely
All
mine.
right, cool.
No kids for me.
I haven't known Matt that long.
Yet, Matt, just give it time, man. Since you've been hanging out at strip clubs in Canada and casinos in San Francisco, it's gonna be. It's only a short amount of time for you, buddy.
All right, so I have a question from Dirty Love Charteau. It's a
Okay.
question for each person. Why is your car better than the other douche's car?
Nice.
Who's that directed at, though?
For you
Both
both?
Both
of
of you
you.
guys. Whose car's
All right,
better out
Matt.
of
Why
you
is
two?
your car better than the other douches?
I think my car is better because of what we put into it, right? Like, I wouldn't build things a certain way or do things a certain way unless I thought it was the right way. Obviously, there's a huge learning curve, and my car has changed a whole lot over the years that I've been running it. But my car is maybe not the best, but it's definitely better than a lot.
That's
All
a
right,
great
Odi,
answer,
rebuttal.
Odi. Go ahead. Have your rebuttal, Odi.
So, yeah. I think my car is better because it's easier to drive, especially right now. It's got like maybe the speed, the grip, and we kind of dialed it back just enough to make it easy to drive as well. Where I think a lot of other guys are still hyper focused on speed and grip and kind of lose out on the drivability of the car.
All right, now, hey, let's go to the judges. Who would you pick to win that question, Sam? Matt or Odi? Whose car's better?
Who won the question or the battle in real life?
The battle questions. So, off both the responses, who do you think has a better car?
I would say that they're pretty neutral, but I think in the battle against the teammates that we're gonna hopefully see before the end of the season, I think Matt Field is gonna T-bone Odi across the finish line, and they're gonna rule in favor of Matt Field.
Well, if the question is whose car is better, my car or Odi's car.
Yeah, what car's better, Sam?
They're honestly almost identical.
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, I like Odi's lightweight setup. Odi, are you running a thinner tire, lighter car than Matt's?
It used to be lighter, but now
Yep,
that we're on
not
the
anymore.
same tire,
Uh,
we have to have the same minimum weight. And
it's just easier for you
I
guys to
think my
both be
car is
running.
built to be. say what?
I was gonna say, like, now you guys have to be in the same dimension tire just to make it easier for your team. You couldn't choose to make a lighter car, skinnier tire.
No, I think honestly the 295 that Falken makes is the tire to be on, the 295 with the 40
Yeah.
sidewall, and you just kind of build your car around it because that tire is real. It just works well. Like everything, just works out well. So we're kind of forced to like build a car basically around the tire that we feel works really well. So a lot of cars are deviated.
All
Hey,
right, let's,
Sam,
let's
Sam
get some more
by the way, Sam,
What?
you didn't catch on fast enough, but I'm trying to have a competition here. We're going to
Yep.
ask them the same questions, and then we judge the response on who wins, and we're going to have a tally at the
Okay.
end.
That's
So-
good. Let's move on to the next question then from Gerald Hernandez, who said, whose dick is bigger?
All right, let's go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, for opening arguments.
Please
Where do you
lay
start
it
with
all out.
that?
All
That'll
right.
just have to be on the next episode.
All right, on the next episode.
It's gonna
All
be
right,
on
cool.
Instagram.
Oh, and Odie just left, so mine's bigger. I win. He can't even rebuttal.
Hey, Odie's out of the conversation?
No, I
Did he
see-
hang up because it wasn't family friendly?
I still
Yeah,
see
his
Ode.
daughter heard the question.
Oh, I
Next
didn't even think about
question.
that.
Let's see here.
Sorry, Odie's daughter.
He probably had speakerphone
All right.
in the car.
Oh, God. I didn't even think about that.
It's
Oh, I'm
okay.
so
It's
sorry.
okay.
So sorry, Odie's daughter. Oh, God,
You
what have I
just
done? All
traumatized
right,
her.
anyways, all these questions are
Hold
for
on.
both of you, so it looks like you're the one that gets to
So
answer.
so
I
so
can answer
far.
for both.
Okay, so hold on, Sam. For the first question, whose car was better? Who gave the better response, Samantha or Odie? I give mine to Odie. Odie gave a better response. Sam,
All right, Odie, sure,
to-
Odie.
who'd you give?
One more time.
Nope, Paco, pick one.
There you go.
I can't do that.
Pick one,
No, it's
Paco.
one more time.
All right,
Uh,
so go ahead. So give Odie wins that
1
first
point
question.
for Odie. I was
Yeah.
gonna say Phil just to be
Okay.
more fair. So
All right.
there you go. So we have 1 point for Odie.
Yep.
Yep. All right,
And
so
then
we got
Phil
another
does
question from the McKibben. He says, "What was it like to have another man break your shaft?"
Oh God.
Yeah.
I would say worst day of my life, but that's not true.
Yeah. What was
Right.
the worst day of your life, though? What happened?
We'll just move on.
Yeah.
Okay, don't want to get there? Sure.
I didn't know if he was gonna say being born or what, but
Yeah. Here we go. All
There you
right,
go.
cool,
Oh,
Matt
God.
Fields.
It's on fire.
We get it.
that sounds like a Hemi Barracuda.
I glad the camera's not looking at. Oh, it's there now.
Matt, are you running on 7 cylinders right now?
if I don't know, they're checking it right now. They just fired the car up. That's why it's so loud.
Oh no, we heard. We heard.
Yeah.
How
Trust
far?
me.
How far is the drive from San Fran up to Seattle? Is that like a 12-hour, 10-hour?
It's like 14, 15 hours, so
Jesus
it's not bad.
Christ.
We're leaving tomorrow morning.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So we got time.
Okay, we're getting Odie back, and he just finally logged back on. Hey, what are you doing during halftime in top 32, top 16?
Huh. I have, because this new video that I shot for the Power Rangers series is
Yeah.
coming out during halftime, so I have an autograph signing there, and I have an autograph signing for Falcon like we always have. So it's going to be a busy halftime for me.
All right, if you want to come
You
up
guys-
to the AM booth and do
hold
some
on.
more signings with us, you're more than welcome. That's our invite.
Awesome.
Are you coming
Hold
to
on.
the K1?
Yeah, we're going to do 15. Well, we're doing for you guys. I don't even know if I told you guys this, Sam and Paco, but we're doing another 15-minute rotation of signings and hangouts in Seattle. So if you want to come out, spend 15 minutes with us and bring some stuff over, we'll do the same thing, but we'll do it in person. And also, are you going to be coming out to the go-kart race on Wednesday night?
Yep, I am.
I can't wait to push you into the fence.
Oh, you're done, Corey. You're so slow and heavy. I'm not even worried.
Dude, do you know
Corey,
why?
I thought that you
do
were
you know,
announcing with me.
no,
Wait, you're gonna drive and I just have to announce alone?
I might do a ringer run in there so I can take Matt
I
out.
gotta say, this is gonna be like battling Bowser on Mario Kart.
And do you know why I'm
Yeah,
bigger? Well, I'll tell you this.
exactly.
The reason why I'm
Bowser
slow and
and
heavy is
Yoshi.
'cause I can run a bigger tire than you, doy.
It doesn't work like that at
Oh,
K1,
my
bro.
bad. My bad. Damn it.
Well, Corey's been putting on a lot of weight so he can run the widest tire possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna run a 335 on a 60 sidewall, dude.
Yeah, that's why he's been.
Well, you got the weight
bulking
to
up.
pull it, bro.
Listen
You're
here,
good.
brother.
You're good.
Yeah.
Listen here, brother. I'm
All
gonna run a 365 tire with the 40 sidewall, brother.
Have
yeah.
you tried to get Odie back in the show so we can
Yeah.
ask some group questions? Or
Yeah,
did we just,
but he won't answer because he traumatized his whole family.
yeah, sorry.
Sam
Also, maybe you
asking
shouldn't have
penis
your kids
size.
on speakerphone when I'm on the other line because
Oh,
you know
for
how that.
sure.
Never.
Anyways,
Let's see.
what do we got? We got. You got one,
Let's
Paco?
see. Browns and Bubbles is asking, what's your favorite alcoholic beverage?
Sure.
Jameson ginger ale.
Ooh.
Not bad. Not
Yeah.
bad.
Not bad. Not bad, dude.
What's your
Iron
favorite drink,
Dukester,
Corey?
long time listener, first time caller. Which one's Batman? Which one's Robin?
Ooh.
Ooh.
You're obviously Robin. That's what you're gonna say, Matt Field? Sure.
Nah.
You're gonna be.
I found a question from Drop a Gear that is only going to work once I get Odi back on the line for speakerphone
if he comes
for his
back
kids.
in line.
Yeah.
Because he's driving around on his internet. He's calling through the internets.
Let's see.
Junior Fab. Does
what?
Matt Field have the best hair in FD? Do you still have the best hair in FD?
No, because he doesn't. Because Alec Honadell won the trophy. So how did
won
he?
it once? Yeah.
Yeah.
like-
So that was last year. So we haven't picked yet.
that's right.
That is
So
true.
he never had the
So that's a no.
championship.
Are you trying to
Taco?
well, maybe before Alec Honadell was competing.
That was before we were around, so it doesn't count. There was no trophies back then.
Well, I'm blaming
That's before
Junior
trophies
Fab for
existed.
asking the question.
Paco, come on, dude. Come on, dude. All right, here I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna ask him a bad one. Let me start
All
my
right.
Instagram and find one for Matt.
All right.
Matt
So in the meantime,
Cornfield.
oh, you got one, Corey? You lined up?
I'm looking right now. I just fired it up.
All right,
All
Sam?
right. Beat Farmer 89 asked Matt Field, if you were to buy a fun daily driver, what would it be?
C6 Corvette.
Oh, I see you got a
Alright,
boner
man.
over those lately. You've been posting a lot of pictures of them.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're pretty sweet.
you're sponsored by PBM, right?
Correct.
Yeah, those guys are throwing out a lot of the new drift equipment for Corvettes pretty heavily.
Yeah. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Oh.
So
Are you,
wink,
Well,
wink.
I hope to
building
see you in a.
drift
I
Corvette
hope
for
to.
2018?
Yeah, it's a C4. He's gonna run a C4 Corvette.
Hell yeah.
C4 automatic.
Cocaine Corvette, dude. C4 is the best.
Cocaine Corvette.
C4. Four
Take
on the
it to
floor.
limit.
Dude, for my first car, I was considering getting one of those instead of my 5.0 Mustang. There's one for sale that had nitrous for only like $4,000, and I was gonna get that as my first car.
Oh my god.
And then he
You're
got a
gonna
probe
kill yourself,
instead.
Kid.
I did not. I nearly almost killed myself in the 5.0 Mustang with bald rear tires, my
Wow.
88 5.0. So I really didn't need a cocaine Corvette, but
The
boy,
bald
would that
rear
have-
tires. Sam, you had bald rear tires.
Oh yeah, of course. I just from doing burnouts in my high school parking lot. Not even joking.
Did the tires match the drapes?
The tires did match the drapes, bald and in sleek, ready to ride.
All right, I got a question for Matt. This is from the McKibben. Matt, when you're not waking up to win the FD event, what are you waking up for?
Which is good because
That's a
that's
good
comment
question.
on old stuff that Matt said on the show, which is that, you know, if he doesn't wake up to win the event, what's he waking up for? So now he wants to know, what are you waking up for if you're not waking up to win?
Yep.
Honestly, every day consists of waking up to either run my business or work on my race car. So kind of goes back to that. I need both those things in my life in order to go out and win and go out and drift. So I literally wake up because drifting.
All right.
And
well,
next
so-
time I have a special request. Could you wake me up before you go, girl?
That's a good one. Good question, Sam.
I don't want to be hanging around solo, you know?
Here's a question. This is from Canadian tow truck driver 69. What was your first job?
What was what?
Your first job.
My first job, I actually, because my sister was a competitive gymnast all through college and everything, and all since she was a little kid. So my first job, I was like 15 and a half, and I was teaching little kids how to do somersaults and jump on trampolines and like working at a summer camp at the gym that she did gymnastics at.
You were the oil girl for your sister? That's kind of weird, dude.
No, not that. I literally got to play with little kids and jump on a trampoline for my first job. It was pretty fucking awesome.
That pays pretty high these days, right?
I mean, it didn't back then. Minimum wage was like $6.75 or something, right?
Oh, well, thankfully now it's like $25. I don't know. Any other
Just
questions?
ask me
for this?
McDonald's employees how much minimum wage is.
I thought that they were all machines by now.
Someone's still got to flip them.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Flip the machines or flip the burgers?
Flip a bean.
Flip the beef. Flip the beef.
beef.
Yeah, so that's a good question. This one's from looks like Sanchez Taco Mania 54. He says if you go up against Dean Kearney again in Seattle, are you gonna flick his Dean or is he gonna flick yours again?
Oh, God.
This is-
Dean, man. Literally every time I go against him, I beat him and he smashes into me. No joke. So, you know, it's funny. Jeff Jones posted on Facebook, and I urge everybody to go out and look at Jeff Jones' Facebook. He posted the video of the drag race guy. He's talking about, he's standing in front of this pro mod, this like blue Camaro pro mod or something. And he's talking about how that guy, they built a car for that customer, and every time he goes out to run it, it gets crashed like the first run. And it's that like super famous line. He's like, when you pull up next to somebody and he's a window licking, what is it? If he's a window licking fucktard, just put your shit in reverse and back off the line. You don't have to run him. And it was funny because Jeff Jones tagged Dean, Chelsea,
I see that right now.
Vaughn, and
Yeah.
JTP. Yep. And
It looks like
and he's-
It looks like he took JTP off the list. It's just Chelsea,
Oh,
Dean, you, and Vaughn.
That's so fun. Yeah, maybe it wasn't JTP, but yeah. So I guess that's my advice, or that's what I'm going to do with Dean. Unless we got to run. If you got to run, you got to run. It is what it is. But yeah, Dean, you might be a window-licking fucktard.
You heard it here first. Oh, hot damn, man. Any more questions for this Matt Field?
Ooh, there's
Well, he scared Odi off the phone, so I think by, by
No,
default.
not me. That was definitely Sam.
Matt Field,
oh, yeah.
look, you can tell.
So by
you could tell,
default, Matt Field
if
wins the question off.
If you could call up Odie
Actually.
for me and make sure that his kids are listening, just be like, hey, sorry about that Sam guy and all of his dick jokes.
Hey, Matt, do you know? Oh, never mind. We're not. Damn it.
I have to watch my mouth around her. It's so bad. Like I cuss up a storm and I talk horribly. And every time I'm around Adrena, I'm like, God, I gotta stop. I literally have to force myself to stop. So she's heard it before. Maybe not asking about her dad's junk, but
it's the first time in every young person's life where they get
she's gonna have to learn it eventually.
where they get to learn about Dad's Dingus. But
oh my god,
is that the episode title? Dad's Dingus? I
Daddy
don't know.
Oh my
Dingus. That sounds like a good Disney
Oh
movie.
my God.
The Frenemies and the Tale of Dad's Dingus.
Daddy Dingus. The Ballad of Daddy Dingus.
Oh, there you go. The Frenemies and the Ballad of Daddy Dingus. There you go. All right.
Oh.
All right.
That's the episode title. Anyways, I guess
if-
all three of us are actually going to be in Seattle this week, in a few days, and we will see you up there, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Always a pleasure.
Yep.
Before
Thank you for the time.
Before you go,
Yep,
before
later,
you
nerds.
no, wait. Before you go,
what?
Paco's
Oh,
something.
Paco, by the way, thank you for getting my all my Super Doof stuff to me and those stickers that you got are rad. There's a big one
Hey,
in the back of my
You
toolbox.
guys still
and-
there?
Oh,
Oh,
I hear you.
right,
He's
right
back.
before just like breaking up the product placement.
Hey, do you have? Are you on speakerphone right now, Ode? Or are you on?
No,
I'm
but if I put you on speakerphone, my 3-year-old daughter will start asking you a bunch of questions.
Yeah, you got lucky because right as you hung up, Sam was asking who had the bigger Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, I'm glad it's not on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Oh, we thought it was. We thought that's
I
what
thought
you
it was. I thought that's why you hung up, man. I'm sorry.
And like, oops, sorry. Like,
Oh, you guys hear that? My car's running beautifully now. Thank
wow,
God.
way to
Good thing
rob
you
it.
got that
Was it
injector
not the
from Modi.
injector? What'd you
No,
do?
they blew it out with air and cleaned it out with a bunch of shit. So I'm sure there was junk in the injectors. But
Yeah, you don't want
damn
to
it, Odie!
You don't.
It
Wanna,
was funny. I actually sent Odie an angry text because it was like 110 degrees inside my trailer, and I'm cleaning out the big giant mess of the 3-month trip on the East Coast. I haven't seen my trailer back, and I go and I look at my Part Shop Max display, and it's just all fallen on the ground.
Oh,
So
good.
These guys borrow bolts and all kinds of stuff from there and never put it back and put it finger tight. And all the shit was everywhere, and I sent him a really angry text.
Oh,
It
sweet,
was
though.
angry.
Can you sum it
I
up
nice
for
to
us?
meet
I ran to the hardware store a couple hours ago, bought like all new hardware for all the lower mounts, not just the one I borrowed. It's all grade like 10, not the 8.8 that you had on there. So
Oh, even better. Well, thank
I
you.
felt
Odie.
really bad. Like
So
actually,
now that
I'm
you're back,
replacing all the hardware when I get there.
Now that you're
myself,
back
'cause my
here-
guys obviously can't tighten it. So.
Odie, now that you're back on the phone call, can you finally answer once and for all who has the lowest mount?
The what? the lowest what?
The lowest mount.
Lowest mount? You're talking about low mounts just now?
Low mount.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here-
Lower mount. He's talking about the lower mount on one of the arms that is
Which,
on the display.
yeah,
and blah, blah,
for the
blah.
arms that you've got to,
well,
hung
here,
on the wall.
let's do this.
How?
I want to, Sam. Why don't you tell us how low your mount is, and then have Odie respond into yours. So
Mine's what's the term? Scraper, knee scraper.
oh, you got a knee scraper lower mount.
Yeah.
That's pretty low. That's pretty impressive. What
I
about you,
have,
Ode?
I have a special cushion in my driver's seat.
Oh, do you?
Wow.
I had to get,
So
I had to
that's
get
a
a
low
custom
mount.
pad made. I was
Because
just
your
too
hemorrhoids?
uncomfortable otherwise.
Or
Right in front of that area. Right in front
Dude,
of that area.
Matt
A scoop.
Field's seating position is the most awkward seating position, by the way.
Why?
Oh, that's
You
a
need
sick
to sit
burn.
in my
Like a
car
troll.
and then sit in
Yeah.
yours.
Why?
Why?
What is it set up
Is
like?
your seat still reclined back a whole bunch where
I
it
got
lifts?
the gangster lean, bro.
He's
I gotta
gangster,
get the
dude.
gangster
No.
lean.
Well, before Matt having the gangster lean seat, I just remember when he used to sit on a trailer hitch.
You sit on a trailer ball, Corey. Non-grease, fresh from AutoZone, turd.
Well, here's the thing: is that if Matt Field is sitting any closer to his wheel, his head would have broken it in half last of it. So it's actually a good thing.
Hey, so now, okay, let's do a total of 4 more questions, and then we'll finalize it with who wins the question off. Now that we got Odi back, so we're
All
gonna
right,
ask,
you're winning. You're up by one. By
so
the way,
Odi, you have 1 point over Matt. So Paco, Sam, and I are the judges, and we're
All
gonna
right.
I
ask you
thought I
guys
won
the
the
same
dong question
question.
because he wasn't on.
Oh, so we'll give 1
I
and
won
1.
that.
Yeah, Matt won the dong
Matt
question.
got a buy run on that one.
It's a trend now. So we got Matt.
1-1.
So we got 1-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys are tied.
So
Whoa.
so let's pull up 3 more questions, and whoever answers the best, and we're the judges, you're gonna get deemed or added, a
right.
point. Let me see here. We're
Oh my
digging
God.
through.
All right, here's a point that here's a question that's worth some points.
Okay.
Alika80 says, "What are your reactions to the news that Corey will be missing Seattle? Do you think Pro 2 Field
Oh
dodged
my
a bullet?"
God.
My only reaction is figures.
Yep.
Figures.
All right, Odie.
Okay.
Odie?
Pro 2 needs all the entrance we can get right now.
Okay. My vote is for Matt Field.
God damn it, Sam.
I'm giving Matt Field a vote as well.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna go for Matt Field too.
All right, Matt Field
3 for
unanimous
Matt
with the
Field.
victory.
Well, that just like he wins his round.
I know.
Okay, but
No, I'm
but
gonna
it was
give-
unanimous.
Yeah, it was unanimous.
All right.
I wanted to
all
vote.
right,
Odie.
Odie, do you want to protest that one?
Even
or
Corey
you just gonna-
voted for my answer.
Yeah, I voted for your answer.
I guess
Cody, you got one for these
sorry,
kids?
I was encapsulated by Matt Field's answer.
I have one right here.
I think Corey's just sad right now, man. Matt
Yeah.
just made Corey
Yeah.
really sad.
I can only help that guy so much. Sometimes you got to chop him by the knees and cut your losses.
Yep.
I got
Chop 'em
one.
up.
Here, this is from Legends E30. Question for both. If
Wait. Does he call you a whole bunch, Matt? Because he
Oh.
calls me sometimes for like
All the
advice as well.
That's
I
awesome.
called.
Asking me
I did.
how to use a hammer. How do I use
Next-
this hammer
No,
to flatten my floor?
no,
Can you
no,
how,
for
Matt,
real,
how hard
so-
should I hit?
No,
How hard should
I
hit?
called Matt like 4 weeks ago because I had to hammer out my like trans tunnel. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
where do I hammer it
beat
and
the
how much do I
trannies.
hammer it? And he's like, oh, you just beat the fuck out of it, or if you do it right, you cut it out and make a new one. I was like, all right, well, I'm not doing that, so I'm gonna hammer the fuck out of it. And then I
'Cause that
called
disqualifies
Odie.
your car.
I called Odie about 2 weeks ago asking him about some WiseFab and alignment setup. Which, you know, I'll
So-
be honest, they both helped me, and I appreciate the frenemies for the guidance.
But Matt Field missed out on the sexual innuendo of you were asking him how to control a big hammer, and obviously you were not asking about yourself.
Well, I wouldn't ask Matt Field how to use a big hammer. I'd ask Odie.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, so hold on. My question. So
Yeah,
it's 1 and
you're
1.
wrong.
Yeah, question from Legends E30. If you had a battle of the death, what weapons would you guys use against each other?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, say that again. My phone's cutting out.
Battle to the death. What weapons would you use if it was, Matt versus Odie, and you guys could choose weapons? Any weapons? What would you choose?
Ah, jeez, this is a nasty question, man.
It's
Matt
all right.
has to
Yeah.
go
This is our
first. Matt
fans.
has
Well,
to
you
go-
want to
Matt-
go back
Matt
to the
has to go
dick size questions?
All right. Well, just from experience, my go-to is a hammer. So
Okay.
All right, good.
I got to
good.
stick with that. Got to stay with
How
my
big?
roots.
How big's your hammer?
Osmo size or?
Is it a Norwegian hammer or is it?
I'm pretty
like
sure my hammer would put Osmo down too, even though he's tall as shit.
Okay, but it's not a Norwegian hammer. It's a San Francisco hammer.
Well, no, it's made in the United States, boy.
Ooh.
Come on.
Mine's more like a Cleveland steamer.
Don't call me boy. All right.
All
gotta-
right.
All right, so
Oh,
Odie-
that's like a handyman type of deal. I think I would just grab for the machete, but
Okay, so
so-
Odie gets the machete. Matt's got the hammer. I'm gonna go Odie.
This
Corey?
is tough. This is I'm very stuck here because
I know
see,
my answer, Corey.
because this show's a lot of personality. Odie's more of like the quick wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Field is more of like I'm gonna make this hurt for a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, if I had to pick, do I pick the? I'm gonna go Field, the hammer,
Oh. All right, Paco.
because I do not want to see Matt put his hammer on Odie's face. But if he had to,
yeah,
I'm sure you've
that
had
was
dreams,
a-
Corey. I'm sure you've had dreams.
I have. I have. Go ahead.
I'm
Paco.
going for the machete.
Oh, so
I'm
Odi
going
gets
for
the
the
win.
machete. So Odi gets the win.
Machete.
So what about the
Machete.
score?
Right now they're tied 2-2.
Oh boy. All right, we got 2 more questions and then we're wrapped.
No, one more question.
One
It's
more
gonna-
question. Okay,
yeah.
then let's do this. One more
Sam
question.
can hook up the machete, by the way.
Which,
Got a couple.
You bring him on the airplane and TSA take him away. You guys remember that?
You know, I'm always down for that. There should be after the event, the driver should just battle it out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Not with like knives and hammers, but you know, like American Gladiator, big Q-tip things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
or like
awesome.
shooting tennis balls
Man,
and you
I
gotta
just,
dodge them.
I just want to drink a beer after the event. I don't know about you, man.
Yeah.
Well, those go hand in hand, Odie. Sometimes those go hand in hand.
Yeah, sometimes you drink
That's true,
enough
that's true.
beers and then you decide to hit each other with weapons.
Been there.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
You got that final question?
I have one. Okay, let's see. I think it's a good one. It says,
All right.
it's from M. Frex. Who did more damage? Odi's judges or Matt's tow truck driver?
Ooh.
For me, definitely the judges with Odie. I've been there last year, completely screwed. Drops you low in points, especially on an event that you know you're going to do good at. You know, especially Odie's ladder, man. That was just like the walk to the top. And he totally got screwed out of at least a top 4, in my opinion.
Okay. What about Odi?
I don't want to put doing
Yep.
Is Odi gonna lose by default?
like okay, but look, breaking it down statistically or points wise, Matt got to advance. I would have gotten a bye run into the top 8, so I feel like yeah, that inflicted more damage.
All right, well then I'm gonna vote for Byron on this one.
Good.
Did my phone cut out? So
No,
what I'm trying to say is points wise, I would have advanced very far because
All right, I'm
there was actually a free ride into top 8. There was a bye run to be had in
Yeah.
top 8.
I'm gonna vote
Yeah.
Odi because of his cockiness on that question.
Sure.
Sorry,
That was a good.
there's a bye run to be had in top 16, so I would have had a run right into top 8.
Yeah. All right, and Paco, what
but-
you got?
I'm actually gonna vote for Phil because
Oh,
he's
Byron gets the win.
showing you know like that sportsmanship, teammate,
No.
frenemy side.
Nope. Odi.
So well,
Sam.
we have 1-1, Sam.
No, I voted for Byron.
God damn it.
so
We gotta do one more. All right, one last
No,
one.
no, we can't. No, that's it.
Then you gotta make
they
it-
Both,
They both
both
tied.
won.
Oh,
It's
they
a
both
tie.
tied. Yay! This is
You guys are perfect for
If
each
only the
other.
real world
Here, at
had
Maximum
ties.
Drift-
If
at
only it worked
Maximum-
that way.
Here's the thing. At Maximum Driftcast, everybody wins.
Everybody's
This
Everybody's
is the
the winner.
most.
Is it? Do we just get participation trophies?
Yes,
Yeah.
Is that
that's
what we just got?
I'm fucking pissed about that
This
too.
is
And
a-
yes, because Sam had to vote Byron.
It's a
Yeah.
perfect
Eric,
millennial show.
Come on down.
See what
come on
happens when
down.
you move to
We'll give you a-
California, Sam, and now you become fully participation trophy winners.
Give you a complimentary toss of the hammer. But you guys can also go duke it out on the track at K1 Speed in Seattle, and we'll see who wins there.
We will, because we're on different teams, Odie and I.
Ah.
Yeah, so I think one of the last times I went karting, I broke the outer tie rod of the cart. So
Hell yeah.
hopefully it'll be
Must
all
have had
good.
Wise Fab on it.
Ooh.
Shots
All right, this is
fired.
heating up. Let's save it for the go-kart track.
Before
Hopefully.
before you guys go, I have a question for each one of you. See if you guys can help us give away a couple Grid Life tickets. So we're gonna do the giveaway, and in order for us to be completely biased, we're gonna ask you guys for 2 numbers, and that's how we're gonna pick the winner. You guys okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, so Matt Field, pick a
Hey,
number.
my phone's like acting up, but I think I got it. You just said to
No,
be
you probably
completely
just couldn't
unbiased.
understand him.
Yes, I know.
That doesn't help,
That mu-
obviously. That doesn't
All right,
help.
so you just need to pick a number
Yeah.
between what and what, Paco?
Let's start. Matt Field, a number between 1 and 176.
7.
Wow, that's random.
Number 7. And Odi,
Predictable.
number
Yeah.
between 1 and 22.
Between 1 and 22, 10.
Yes, 10. Perfect. So what we're going to do is Matt Field just picked the Facebook winner,
Yep.
and Odi just picked the Instagram winner.
Nice.
Each guy
Makes
gets 2 tickets for
Sweet.
for
There you
Grid
guys
Life.
go. Thanks for participating, Matt and
Oh,
Odi.
cool.
Hopefully we'll see you guys
So
at
you
Grid Life.
just picked some Grid Life winners. That's awesome. Matt Field, Odi, thank you so much for spending time with us today,
Sweet.
and we will see you in 2 days at the go-kart track K1 Speed in Seattle.
Yep. See you in Seattle. See you guys at Grid Life.
Awesome, guys.
Later, homies.
Yeah,
Later, boys.
thank you. Later.
Bye.
Later.
Bye. All right.
Tell them to hang up
One
now.
is hang up, and the other
Oh,
one.
Brian. Oh, Brian's manning the fort. Hang up. Oh,
There you
there
go.
it is.
Ben-
Oh, wait. Did we
Ben,
hang up on Sam too?
Yeah, well, let's get him
Yeah,
back
we
real
don't even
quick.
need Sam anyways, because Sam's is a dumb doy. Oh, Paco's giving a tutorial, and we're getting
Right.
Sam back. So, you're calling all 3. Looks like
Didn't need to hang up on me, you dick butts.
we wanted
It was
to.
an accident.
It wasn't an accident. I told Brian to.
So who are the winners of the Grid Life?
So
tickets?
the winner for the Facebook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Winner for the Facebook giveaway, it's Cat Elizabeth. Cat Elizabeth, I'm posting on it right now.
Yeah, send us a message. You've got a
Congrats.
few days or
You
whatever.
won.
Otherwise, we'll find someone who wants them more. But also, if you can't go, then of course, make sure to give them to a friend, or we can redistribute it back out.
Yeah, it's 2 tickets each.
Yeah,
And-
don't scalp that stuff. Or
and
but
also,
yeah, let us know if you can
we're
go.
gonna-
Hopefully, you can make it because it will be a crazy, awesome party time.
And we're going to
Good.
have another 2 more tickets next week, and then another 2 more on the next week after that. So we still have like 8 tickets to give away.
Oh yeah, well, it's
So-
exciting.
12. We should have 12 more tickets.
And
All right, so
the
for-
Instagram winner, this is CH Naujukas, also known as it's our buddy Chris from Speed Parts. He won his tickets for Grid Life,
Nice.
so I'm posting
Nice.
right now.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations,
It's
guys,
totally
and yeah,
totally
thanks for.
unbiased. This was Matt Field and Odi who picked
Oh,
the
yeah.
winners.
Yeah, it's a good system, so that way people know we're not playing favorites because we know that
Yep.
Matt Field and Odi they don't have any favorites in anything. They're just really boring guys.
Yeah, they didn't even know who.
Didn't even know.
Yep, there you go. Perfect.
Uh,
So we have the 2
all right.
winners.
Yeah, congrats, guys. And let's talk about some other procedural things. Of course, we're going to be out at K1 as we mentioned. What's the time
Corey?
for that, Colby?
It's 7 until 10 p.m.
7 till 10 p.m. It is 2207 Northeast Bell Red Road in Redmond, Washington 98052.
Oh, look at that.
That's
And-
Battle in Seattle. Cardio with the Pros presented by AEM Induction Systems, and of course yours truly, Maximum Driftcast. Paco won't be there because he's going to be too busy celebrating his 16th quinceanera, but he will be out at Formula Drift Seattle in force with us there to cheer up Corey's hurt feelings from not driving.
Also to that, drivers at the K1 Speed event would be Vaughn Gittin Jr., Chelsea Denova,
Oh no, he's coming.
Chris Forsberg, Peter Vanjak,
Vincek.
This is
Dean
going to be bigger than
Kearney,
Formula Drift Seattle.
James Dean,
We have plenty of drivers to throw a top 16.
Christoph's Blues. I'm just going to go there hang out with Christoph's and drink beer with him.
Oh, dude, that's got to
He
be.
doesn't drink beer. He only drinks white
we,
wine.
we
Remember?
have, I'm not going to drink that shit then.
Okay.
Matt Kaufman, Alec Honadell.
Osbo?
Cat Moffman.
Osbo's not
Big
going to be
Cat.
able to make it.
Osbo said he
Dirk
hates fun,
Stratton
not
will
surprised.
be there, supposedly, from what I saw.
Corey Hosford.
Sam Nelvin.
Corey's going
we
to drive
have
a car,
Baco.
maybe.
We
or
have
if it
a
doesn't break.
bamboozle of people to drive with, guys. It's going to be a fun shootout competition where fans can drive, and you get to hang out with us. And me and Sam are going to be commentating, so
Yep. Get ready
um,
for that.
I'm gonna talk the whole time as if I'm Chewbacca.
And I'm just going to wait till Odie's daughter gets within earshot and starts saying things that are not acceptable.
By the way, guys, we got a box on the mail from our buddy
Jesus.
Charlie from Hard Times.
Here we go.
Hard Times Racing is one of the buddies from Grid Life. He sent us a box full of audio equipment, microphones, cables, a bunch of stuff that he didn't need it anymore. We're definitely going to give it a lot of good use here. So thanks a lot, Charlie. I
Nice.
really appreciate your donation. It was
Thanks,
a big
Charles.
box, a lot of stuff. So with that said, we have a lot of Patreons.
Oh, sweet.
So allow me to butcher your names, people.
Butcher?
Butcher.
Okay.
Did I just butcher that word?
You did. You did actually.
Perfect.
Yep.
Let's see. So we have so Patreon Aaron Eusebi, which he sent us that magnificent video with a spaghetti mug.
Oh yeah, that
full
was a
of-
great video.
Full
Thanks, buddy.
of it's the slow motion pour of the SpaghettiOs, and then the surprise hot dog, which
That was truly artful.
yeah. So Arno Sevi, new Patreon. We have Rasmus Ravskanzier. That one I definitely probably butchered.
No, you nailed it. Keep going.
Perfect.
Keep going.
Speed it up. Let's get it.
Alfie Big Elf Noller,
Nice.
Jacob Solver,
Nice.
Lucian Shibutaru,
Nice.
Rob
Nice.
Maskell,
Nice.
Nissan
Nice.
Pacific, our buddy Hughes. Nissan Pacific's
Nice.
also new. Andy Ainge.
Paco's on a roll. Nice.
Paco's on a roll,
There.
killing it, dude.
Keep going,
Cowabunga, man.
Paco. Keep going.
on going.
Adam Buchanan.
Nice.
That was
Adam
fine.
Bukaki.
Adam Bukake. And
Great.
then Crenshaw.
Oh.
Our buddy Crenshaw.
Oh,
We are
I
$5 away from our next Patreon goal, which Sam
no,
will
what's
not
that?
interrupt the co-host or guest for an entire episode.
oh my God, that's terrifying.
Dude, we're so close to that.
Chris
Wow.
Biolo. And Itsuka Mullet.
Oh, hooray.
Thank you guys for your support. You guys are you are the reason why this show is happening. And
Hey
we
Paco,
are-
do you
yes.
know 5Q plus 5Q?
No.
It's thank you. Thank you very much, guys.
Oh, thank you, Sam.
You need to like get like all
Yeah.
kawaii.
Hey, hey. Hi.
So-
Can I go eat dinner now? Because I don't know if you noticed this, but we got some comments about me eating tacos on the show a few
Yeah,
weeks ago.
thanks
So
for
I'd
sharing.
like to not eat during the show anymore, but I'm starving. Can I leave?
Yeah, Sam.
Let's just finish by saying thanks to our patrons. If you can join, if you want to be a patron,
Paco's
go to
gonna keep you here for a very long time.
MaximumDriftcast.com. Patreon.com/MaximumDriftcast.
Yep.
And also, we need to thank AM Intakes,
Yep.
who obviously they're big supporters of the show. Thank you guys.
Yep.
You are the reason we're here. And also McLeod, Corey,
Yep.
McLeod Turner Series.
If Corey had a
clutch.
car that worked, his clutch would be perfectly
Hey, my
aligned.
throwout bearing worked perfect, so.
And yeah, I mean, if only there was a motor connected to the transmission, which is actually the opposite problem they had for a long time there.
Yep.
But the cars would rip, and in the meantime, it's gonna rip soon.
It was ripping.
Cool.
And AEM,
AM
our
again.
biggest supporters again.
And also, I'd like to thank Heinz Ketchup for providing the hot dog toppings for everyone.
Yep.
Okay.
All right,
That's right.
guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you
You want to
guys
send
next.
us to the night, Corey?
All right. We'll send you guys in the night.
Okay.
Oh, don't forget real quick. Also, of course, please rate us and subscribe on iTunes. Rate us 5 stars or else. I can't say that, but if I did say that, that's what it would sound like. And now you can send us into the night. Thank you.
Send us into the night.
Corey, good night.
Good night.
Good night.